Hello, chat. Hi, guys. So, gonna work on some stuff here. So, got some updates. Got some updates on some stuff. Really, at this point, this is like, remember I told you these guys come in sprues of like 6 dudes at a time. This is what 6 of these looks like. This is 6 whole chunks of these guys made up and ready to go. This is like 36 of them in here. So we made a lot of progress. We made a lot of progress on these. Some of you may wonder what these things are here. These are called pin markers. And part of it is like when you play, you roll for dice and you attack people. And if units get attacked, they receive pin markers, which are kind of like little stress things. And eventually, if these markers get too high, like the units are permanently like they're hiding under fire, and eventually they won't move until you do things to rally their support, do other stuff like that. So that's what those are, and you can 3D print these. I 3D printed a couple just because I'm not giving fucking Warlord Games all my fucking money. So I did that. We also have some pedestals, and while, for example, we have a where's their pedestal that I used? Huh, I think I used it up already. Okay. So these things that they're on are called pedestals, these little guys. Um, these are pedestals. Okay. Now, Warlord Games gives you some of these. You have a set number of them, and it's their own versions. And they have little lips on the edge, and they're kind of sunken down in. And you can put guys on them, okay? Like this guy's on there. Cool. Well, I don't have enough of them. So I had to 3D print some of my own. And they seem to work. They seem to work. I found some I did a little bit of work on Tinkercad and I made some prints of my own. So we got some news there. The other thing because I have extra things, I did guys in different poses. So what I was originally going to do was do the Germans have a unique machine gun treatment of how to use the machine guns. So like there are times where you are on the run and you need an improvised firing position. So, like, you might put these on the shoulder of your assistant gunner, and he'll hold your bipod clenched together in his hands, and the gunner shoots from behind. Well, I tried making that work, and I couldn't get it to work given the positions of these guys in the thing here. So, I just made a little bit of a brick wall, and he's just gonna, pick you from off the top of it, and you can see here he's holding a belt of ammunition that's been elongated, and he's just so that's what he's doing. So, Super Sinitical is saying, "Is there a forever war on the horizon?" Yes, probably. Am I stealing from the Warlords Games Corporation? Yes. You read the rulebook for Boltex. It looks like a really fun game. Yes, I think it's pretty cool. Like I said, I've only played it twice now, so um, I think it'll be fun. I do think it'll be fun. So, I also have somebody who's helping me work on taking the medic box that EDW got me, the first aid kit box, and turning that into a carrying case for the Africa Corps because fuck me running chat. I'll be right back. All right, we're back. So, no, I dropped my drink and it fucking spilled everywhere. So, I had to clean that up for a second. Fucking hey, that's so annoying. So, we got one last thing of these guys. I'll probably work on putting these together and painting them during Corey Richards. That's what I've been doing. That makes the most sense. As far as what we're looking at otherwise, here are some base material like sand, whatever, where I know it did not, thank God. Anyways, here is the Panzer III that comes with the kit. And it's actually pretty neat because these are similar in size. Like they actually are actually identical in dimension, which is kind of nice. I wasn't sure they would be. So at some point in the future, I could repaint the Panzer III probably, but I don't think I will. You just have them fight in the colors they're in. But these are the same. Like this is the Stug 3, which is based off a Panzer III chassis, and then this is the Panzer III, and they literally have the same. Like they have the same chassis, which is nice. So that helps. Little different overall, but same thing, so it helps. So hold on, Chad. I gotta. Yeah, I didn't realize this thing got dusty. I may have to like. I'm gonna have to like. I may have to reapply a bunch of these leaves because they're like, look, they're starting to get a little crusty and not good. So I may have to come up with another plan. Like they're starting to come off at spots, and I thought this was kind of neat. I thought it was kind of neat. So, so we got to work on that. That's all done. The other part is yes, the scout cars. These are painted and they have been sealed, so they're ready for priming. They're ready for priming. The only thing I think I might do is I might figure out how to rip this Panzer book out of here and put in an MG34. But yes, the SD KFZs 221 and 222. A little bit of coaxing. I finally got this to break free from all the paint and shellac. So this operates. We're gonna start painting these and getting them dusty and brown and rusty here in a minute. So it's kind of where we are. Kind of where we are with those guys. Yeah, I'll use a compressor, but I just got to get everything cleaned up there. The leaves are drying out, Steven. They're not real leaves. I get it. This is also God, it's a problem with this thing. It's fucking everything it catches on. We have the 88 millimeter Flak 37 88 millimeter gun. It's fully articulated, so it will articulate up and down, which is nice. Then on top of that, and why is there shit stuck to the barrel? There we go. All right, so that's there. Now, in addition to that, it comes with its base that folds up as part of transport. Now, to make this actually stick together, I ordered some magnets, like these 2 millimeter wide magnets, the neodymium magnets, and then I glued in a stub into the bottom of this hole, and now it actually stays put. It's pretty stable. Because otherwise, it was just kind of like it would just sit there in a friction fit, and I didn't like that. And it wasn't very strong or reliable. Like you start messing with it, and you could basically go boop boop boop, and it fall over. So now it can. Now you could sit here and now I can engage because in bolt action there are planes, so you can attack planes with this, or I can use it to engage anti tanks or armored vehicles and infantry. So it does a little bit of both. So that's going to be the gameplay in here. Now this one requires a massive base for it. It's going to be like 100 by 100 millimeters. So I'm going to have to put that. I'm going to have to get that printed out and put it down and then sand it up. So it's kind of where we are. Oh, son of a bitch. Fuck me, come on. There we go. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna crack the window because I'm getting hot. There we go. A little warm. Okay. So that is where we are with this. So like I said, it works. And it's not the best, but it kind of works. And I'm kind of like okay with it. Not a whole lot I can do here. You never did find those brass rods I sent you. I think I have them somewhere, but but no, like for this, it made more sense because this is all I had to manufacture. Like I had to plug this hole up, and I had to plug the hole up in the bottom of this because it was just hollow. So that's the reason why I use those. And then I'm gonna set up and it's not 100%. I got to figure. I can do a little more work on it, but you can see, guys. At least it'll stay put now, and you can even hold it upside down and it doesn't fall out. So we're gonna work on that here. And as it's set for transportation, this is how you transport it. You fold the side legs up, you put the front and rear carriages underneath it, and you truck it along. And this sits up in the middle. This actually stays put. And then when you're done, you get where you're going, you pop the wheels off, you put down the outriggers, and you get to work. So um so let's see here. Oh yes, Dan Crenshaw lost his seat. Jasmine Crockett lost hers. She's out. Brandon Herrera is still hanging in there, but I don't think we know yet. Apparently the F-15s were shot down by a Kuwaiti F-18, which isn't a surprise. So also congratulations to Alyssa for being cancer free. And getting out in front of it, crushing it. Good job on that. It's awesome news. So couldn't be anything but happier. So so let's see. All right, guys, hold on here. All right, chat. All right, I'm gonna try to see something here. See if there's any. Uh, Hold on, chat. Here, hold on. Hold on, chat. All right. So let's see. God, where's my damn thing? I can't find it here. Okay, here we go. All right. So we're gonna work on actually. I think we're gonna work on fixing this here. Building this guy's walls. Johan for 20 subs. Thank you, Johan. Yes, keep those clips coming, Alyssa. Is that a snap kit or do you need to glue all this together? Oh no, this is all glued together, Joe. These are not snap kits. All these pieces were like off a sprue. I had to cut and put them all together. These are all put together. So, yeah, none of that stuff is snapped together. Lone Alaska, thank you for being here. Phoenix Fire, Spud Gun, Ag, EDW, and Amateur Iconoclast. Thank you guys for your support over the months. So, I'm sure Nick was shaking like a paint shaker when he heard the news. You know, he wishes Eric July $1 million, happens 15 times over. You know, he dabs on Alyssa getting cancer. She beats it. Once again, when he hears news he doesn't like, once again, I think it's like at an airport, the paint shaking machine. He's like, ah, no. It's what it really feels like at that point. So. Mm. So. Let's see here. Let's see here. All right, so we're actually going to work on this here. So let's see what we can do. All right, because my question is, and this is the only thing I don't like, if this guy is kneeled down shooting off of this, he sits kind of proud. Like the wall's really tall, like the wall's not that tall, and he's kind of like on his knee. So it's like a little. I'll see you in a second, Stephen Cooper. But like it's a little tall. I was thinking about clipping the legs just a bit, but I'm not sure what to do there. Not sure what to do. What do you guys think? And real quick, Stephen Cooper re-upped. He's been here for 9 months. Thank you. That's weird how he did that. And then Stephen Cooper for 20 subs. Let's fucking go tonight, chat. Let's fucking go. So. So let's see here. Like, what do you guys think, though? What do you guys? Yeah, EVS is sucking dudes off Craigslist. That's not a surprise. Do you guys get what I'm getting at here, though? This is really short. So I was thinking he could be like behind the wall and he's like shooting from it, but he's really tall with the bipod. What do you guys think I should do? Um, think Hortz, Sean. I'm not gonna fuck with the figure. I was thinking about clipping the bipod down a little bit and building the wall taller. But do you think I should just leave it alone? Should I just leave it as it is, or no? Shave the wall? No, the wall's fine. Because look, here's what he looks like from this side. When you look at him, he's fine. He's fine from this side. I would say, is that wall too short? Is the wall too short? So, if I add a level of bricks, though, here's what I'm trying to point out, chat. Let's say I put a level of bricks on here. I do bricks on bricks on bricks. Like, it kind of works a little bit. So, the bipod's in scale. Yes, it is. And I got to figure out which one of these bricks I can use because a bunch of these tore when I cut it. Okay, I got this one. And, oh, apparently in Maine, they're voting for a guy who legitimately has Nazi tattoos for the Democrat Senate seat. So that's fun. Because what I'm thinking is, if we use the bricks, if I just do this with some bricks here, build a wall, leave the model figure and kit alone. I agree. Okay. Place a layer of cardstock on the. I'm not worried about guys. No. I'm not worried about the cardstock. I'm just worried. Is this like it's a goofy wall if it's only up to the guy's knees? I was thinking about building the wall taller, but I wasn't sure. What do you guys think if I build the wall taller? Does this look better from like a view that you're looking at? Does it? I was thinking about making the wall taller, and I was going to change how he sits on the wall. That's all I was thinking about here. Okay. I wasn't gonna kill him or cut the wall short or anything like that. Um, so I'll build. We'll build the wall. We'll build the wall, chat. We're gonna build the wall. All right, let's build some wall. Okay, so we need our stibby stabby. Okay. Build a left and right. Make like a hidey hole position. I thought about that too, like some murder holes. I was thinking about that. Ooh, that would have been nasty. Keep that fucker in. Red Eagle Politics is not live right now. He's done for the night. I'm not putting on Richard Barris because he's got Robert Barnes on, and I don't want to fucking listen to him bloviate for however long. So, yeah, just giving you guys an update on. If there's anything specific you want to watch, let me know. I know. I don't think Raptor's doing a newscast for EVS. If he is doing it though, I'll be happy to turn that on. And we can listen about EVS being the throat goat. So, all right, there we go. We'll just all right. Okay. And then we'll do this. I didn't realize. Hold on. I got to move my camera a bit because it's not where it needs to be. There we go. That makes a little more sense where it's at right now. That makes a little more sense. I'm sorry, chat. So All right, so let me see here. Check my DMs. I'm working on it here. Okay, hold on. Read my DMs, damn it, play them. It's good info. Okay. Who's the enforcer? We'll take a look at this. Okay, we'll take a look here. Uh-oh. Oh, shit. I think my internet, everything just froze up. Uh-oh. Okay, here we go.
By the United States. I think they might fix them up. I don't think they're going to work with them. I think they are sick of the committee regime. And I don't think the committee regime has any flexibility whatsoever with negotiating with
This
the
is
West.
the enforcer on
This is the
YouTube. I'm going
guy's
to turn him
son.
down a bit.
So I really
Here we
doubt
go.
the son is going to negotiate with the killers of his father.
So here we
I really
go.
doubt that's going to be
Joe's
the case.
live,
And
yeah.
also, I would
But
imagine the son, obviously, we don't know the son. We've never heard the
Katie
son
says you're
really
hooked
speak
on
very
this.
much,
Okay,
but I
we'll
would
try
imagine
it.
he's probably
We'll
as
try
extreme
him.
as his father. So I really doubt
We'll try him.
that
We'll
this
see
is
what
going
he
to go
can do
anywhere.
here.
But Enforcer, what say you?
He'll
He
audition.
will
He's
be,
auditioning, chat.
removed through ordinance. Generally, I would say I would be with the 74%
So
on that. He's not going to be around for long.
let's
We already know that
let's
the other
start
guy that they
making.
kind of said, oh, he might be the guy. He already got blown up, I think, yesterday or the day before. So he's already out of the picture, and this guy isn't going to be around for much longer either. I have a feeling they're probably trying to track down exactly where he is right now and get him before he can even become the supreme leader, I would assume. So we'll probably be hearing about his death here soon. So I hope that does address that well, at least best I can, in my opinion. And before we move on into the rest of our news, also really quickly, folks, I was able to do a little bit of sleuthing here while Matthew was reading off that poll, just to give you all a little bit of an idea of friendly fire and how bad it can be sometimes. During the entirety of the Gulf War, United States friendly fire accounted for 35 U.S. battle deaths over the entirety of the conflict. The Black Hawk was shot down by an F-18. A-10s actually attacked British armored elements several times. And as a matter of fact, Apache attack helicopters from time to time incidentally conducted friendly fire on U.S. armor on the ground as well within Iraq during the offensive. So friendly fire does happen.
Yeah, blue and blue is common.
To start permeating the idea that the Kuwaitis are secretly enemies plotting for
It's
our
not.
destruction.
It's not uncommon
They
to get
truly
shot
are
at.
amazing
Like
allies. We have more bases.
You
in
know,
Kuwait
war
than
happens.
most every other country within the Middle East, and I can
Especially
tell you
when
that
they're
what that pilot
terrified
did
of the
was an
drone
honest mistake.
attacks.
Really impressive work, I would say. I mean, shooting down 3 F-15Es is not easy even for an ally. But once again, an honest mistake by that pilot, and I'm sure that the Kuwaitis are deeply sorry about that.
Well, I bet
incident,
they
considering that
execute the
consider the
pilot.
United States to be a dead-on, diehard ally of theirs, and they're a diehard ally of ours within the region. But with that, it is time for us to get on into some questions. So, Matthew, what do we got?
All right, so let's get that first of 3 super chats. Our first one here goes to Kopioterix, who puts in a $100 support. And thank you very much, Kopioterix, for
So here we
supporting
go.
the channel
All
and helping
right.
to keep it running. And they said, you guys cover everything so well that I don't even have any questions. And LSA.
Oh, well, I thank you so much for the incredible support and help with this channel to keep on running. We're always honored to be able to try and cover the news the best we can.
Is this
and
guy
I
a
hope that it
military
has
guy?
been up
Because
to
he
spec
seems like
again
he's got
tonight.
that kind
I
of
got to thank you massively,
vibe to him.
Terrence, for the support. His support, like yours, from the viewers who watch this channel, help this thing to be
But yeah,
possible
the
each and every
F-15
single
thing,
day.
guys.
We're massively appreciative to you.
I mean, those
and everyone
F-15
else
pilots
here
would have been
watching
sitting
tonight,
there, and
for
like
spending your time here. And
your
also in some
allies have their
regard,
search
for even
radars
supporting
on,
the
so like
channel,
that's not a
directly through money,
problem. But like
in helping us
by
to
the
keep the
time you
lights
realize
on,
the
pay our
targeting
bills, and
radar's
focus
on
this
and
thing
there's
as
a missile
full-time
launch,
job. So
it's
humongous
too
thanks to you
late.
so much once again.
I mean,
hope
like
that does address that
at that
incredibly
point,
well.
you know,
And with
like
that,
they
we
wouldn't
are
have
on to
known
the next
anything
one.
happened until they got the
We
missile
also have
launch
a
warnings.
$50 support from
So,
Talking Chef. And thank you very much, Mr. Chef, for
oh,
that
they're
support. He
brothers.
said, I enjoy
Yeah.
the hard work all the time.
Okay.
And thank you.
And thank you so much.
Will the
for
F-18
support,
carry the
Talking
kill
Chef.
markings?
And we are
If I
happy to
was
have
that
you here
pilot,
tonight,
I'd
and we thank
demand
you so
them.
much
I
for
mean,
enjoying the
they're
show
air
and
to air
supporting it
kills.
and helping it to
Although
keep running.
generally
So
you don't get them
humongous
when they're
thanks to you so much
friendlies.
once again.
And
And with that, we are on
to
the
keep
last
your
question of
allies
this
happy,
segment,
you
and then
generally
we're gonna
don't
be
do
moving
stuff
on
like
into
that.
the rest of the news.
Especially when your allies, the United fucking
And
States,
also,
who
by the way, I think
basically,
your test worked, BC
you
Skyman. It
know,
looks like the super jets are back to working, thankfully. I'm not sure what's going on
you
with
wouldn't
that,
want
by
to
the way.
piss
I've
them
heard a
off.
couple of people
So
say
probably
they're having a
not,
problem with the
ultimately.
super chat, but thank you very much, BC, for that support. We also have a 50 from Chris Feilbach, and thank you very much, Chris, for that support. He said, today's orb word is orbicariolus. It's let's see here. It's used in things like the eyes and the mouths, apparently. A little bit of a muscular control. I don't think it applies to any others.
And a big thanks to you for support, Chris Fieldbach. And that is apparently the orbicularis. Very interesting word right there. And I got to thank you massively for the support, Chris Fieldbach.
All right,
Helping this channel
chat.
to keep
There
it
we
running
go. I
and
think
keeping
that's
the
all
orb
set.
words of the days rolling. So a big thanks to you so much once again for support.
All
That
right,
does address
so
that
he
well.
sits
And with that in
here.
mind, folks, it's now time
He's
for us to move out of this question
ruffledly
segment and on into the
like
rest
up
of
to
the
his
news. By the
chest.
way,
I
folks,
think that's
we
a
will be
lot
addressing
better.
every single super chat.
He's
before
actually
the end of the
behind that
night.
a lot
So if you
more,
have
so I
thrown
think
one in
that
right
we'll make
now and
that
it
work.
hasn't
I'll
been
make
addressed,
that work,
do
chat.
not fret.
So
We get to each and every
okay,
one of them. You just have
so
to be a little patient for a little bit because we have to get through the rest of the news that we have, and then after that we have to get into the questions. And we generally organize the way that the questions are answered, starting with the largest ones first,
he's gonna
and then
get
we work our
surprised at the
way
end
on
of his
down
show
into the smaller
regardless.
ones eventually. But
Who's
moving
gonna
on
get
from that,
surprised? Who are
have
you
been able to
talking
hear
about,
that
EDW?
the French and the British are getting very close to getting directly involved offensively.
He's gonna get
against
surprised
Iran.
at the end of his
British will be
show.
deploying
What
a
are you?
Type
Who, me or
45
who?
Daring class destroyer
Who?
seen here. I actually got to say I'm a big fan of these. They look really nice. But they're currently deploying one down towards
The
Cyprus.
Type 45 destroyer. They have a couple of those, but most of the UK's like destroyer fleet is rusting away in fucking harbor somewhere. Remember, the Royal Navy is a bullshit thing.
And the overseas
All these guys are extremely
pro
pro-Ukrainian. Well,
to
they,
be able to try and defend the RAF
salami
base there in that
ukulele.
area. Currently, they're relegated to only defensive actions, but we're believing that offensive actions may be taking place at some point in the future. The French have also announced that they are going to be conducting aerial defensive measures over the United Arab Emirates, which is now showing the first direct French armed involvement in the conflict defensively. We are believing the French are heavily likely to be involved offensively, as the French don't really play around once they get bombed. They generally go to bombing whoever bombed them first. So we're expecting the French will probably get involved in the conflict at some point here within the next following days. The Charles de Gaulle is actually outbound to this area. It does appear that that was confirmed today, which is also giving us a significant idea that they're trying to bring in further air power to start their own air campaign, joining in with the U.S. against the Iranians. Moving on out of that news, at least pertaining to that area of the UAE, we also heard that the U.S. consulate was hit within Dubai earlier in the day, which we actually have video evidence of here. But you hear the drone flying in right there and then slamming into the consulate in the distance.
Oh my God, it was a direct hit?
A direct hit, yes.
Shit. Oh, dang, I didn't see that earlier.
Yes, unfortunately, it does appear the drone was able to make it through the air defense at Dubai and was able to hit the consulate. We don't really know if there was any personnel within this.
Is Watcher streaming? Yeah.
Trying to see if
Trump told Spain to get fucked. Well, they should. They got nothing to offer us. Fuck them.
Wait and see if that will be the case.
Screw them. It's not like we're launching attacks out of Rhoda.
Another drone. Well, leave from there. Leave from there. Leave from there.
So.
But that's the end of that clip, showing another unfortunate impact on another U.S. consulate. Moving us out of that news and on into the area of Qatar, we also were able to confirm that Iranian missiles did hit Al Udeid once again overnight, according to the
Flamenco is still based. Yeah, but he's not being a fucking creepo.
Diligently in Qatar to try and shoot down all of the incoming air threats, which continue to threaten Qatar and U.S. forces within the area every single day. Further than that, we've also heard that there was Royal Air Force operations last night over the Kingdom of Jordan. This footage was actually provided by the British Ministry of Defense, showing their Royal Air Forces engaging and shooting down aerial threats posed by the Iranians over the Kingdom of Jordan's airspace. And we can see that the British absolutely obliterated that drone. It's nice to see the Royal Air Force down there. The Royal Air Force is a very cool one. Moving on from that, however, that is generally all the developments that we have at the moment inside the Middle East, inside of Iran, and also our Gulf state allies. But we do have a little bit of additional news to tell you all about the maritime situation. Right now, we have seen that the U.S. did put out some more pictures of the air operations. We got to see another picture of the B-2 in flight and also the B-52s that were preparing for their own air operations against Iran a while ago, most likely in a standoff capacity if we were to take a proper assumption. And we also were able to hear that right now, the U.S. Navy has told industry officials in the oil industry that there's no availability for naval escorts at the moment. So it seems as though while we're providing insurance, the Navy has not assessed that they'll be able to provide escort and convoy duties to be able to get tankers in and out of the Strait of Hormuz, at least for now. that might change as the days pass or the weeks pass.
Okay.
Now, with that all in mind, it is time for us to move a little bit on out of the Middle East and towards Malta. Now, last night we did get to see that there was a beautiful sunrise over Malta. It did appear to be quite fantastic. And y'all would actually be a little bit shocked to know that that's not the sun rising. That is actually a Russian shadow tanker, which appears to have been hit by naval attack drones, possibly of the Ukrainians, within the Mediterranean.
Oh man, so much for being a shadow tanker. It looks like it came out into the light today. In fact, it is the light.
It is the light. I mean, it's crazy because that really does look like a sunrise or a sunset right there. That is a tanker that is on fire. It's a liquid natural gas tanker, the Arctic Metagas, which was hit and is currently on fire. The crew is evacuated, but it appears the fire will continue to rage out of control until the vessel's structural integrity is compromised. It'll then take on water and most likely sink. But there you can see the actual fireball right there for once. But if you look at it from a distance, I mean, that looks literally like the sun rising on the horizon. So moving on out of that clip, kind of crazy to see the Ukrainians landing a hit like that. We've also been able to hear out of U.S. CENTCOM today in Tampa, Florida, which is where their headquarters is at, that the first 24 hours of the war saw bombings at twice the scale of the shock and awe campaign on the U.S. bombing campaign that opened the 2003 invasion of Iraq. I have to say, like, this is actually a clip of the shock and awe campaign here. I think, like someone said for context here, it does look like a wider spread, but I think this time around, the reason why it's twice as large is because they're using an unholy amount of munitions against each target. Like, for example, the presidential complex that Khomeini was in when he was killed, it was hit with about, I believe it was something like 30 bombs during that individual strike. So, I mean, it's not like, it's not shock and awe. I mean, we're just shock and awing on pinpoint targets.
Yeah. And also another big point to make as well. Back when shock and awe happened, the U.S. military budget was like 400 billion or something like that. It's now well over $1 trillion now, or it's like at $1 trillion. I think they're trying to raise it to 1.5 trillion. Is the word on the street. So it was much less. Even adjusting for inflation, it was a lower military budget then than it is now. So we have much more larger weapons at our disposal, and also a lot more of them too.
I would definitely have to agree. And, so shock and awe is going on in Iran. I mean, there's no doubt about that right now. I don't think anyone can even say that that's not happening. So, I'd have to say CENTCOM's reports are pretty impressive with that. Moving on from that, we've also been able to hear some additional statements out of Washington, D.C. One we were able to hear is that there are already rising prices at the pump. The average price per gallon has rose about 11 cents overnight to about $3.11 in the United States. That's according to AAA. So it does appear that at the moment we are already starting to see rising gas prices at this moment within the United States.
That is
as a
the one
result
thing I
of
will
the
say. You
slightly
don't have to worry
rising
about,
crude
like,
oil
that's a
prices
problem.
globally.
Like, all this
Moving
AI
on out of
generated
that, we
shit,
are
like,
gonna
it's
be
so
moving
fucking boring.
into the
Show your
essential North
motherfucking face.
Atlantic. Panzer, you're
Goddamn.
making it very hard for me not to laugh.
It's not
right
fucking
now.
hard.
I
How
literally
many
start laughing.
how many
I
fucking
wasn't-
people
I
are
wasn't
watching
laughing
this
because I was
shit?
endorsing it, by the way. I was laughing because I looked up and I was
34,000
trying to get
people
done
watching,
typing
you're getting
something
all these
important,
fucking
and I looked up
things.
and I saw that
Just
goofy,
fucking show your
meme
faces,
right there,
you
and I was like,
fucking
what the hell am I
pussies.
looking at? But anyways,
It's
carry
so
on.
fucking
That wasn't there
retarded.
earlier, by the way, folks, when I actually put that on the map. That apparently showed up right before we went live. We're not
I mean,
endorsing any political comments, by
yeah,
the way.
I'd be
The
happy to
rise
have
in
somebody
price of
like
gas
Sven
was
on. I'm just
expected
not
to
sure what
some
we
extent.
talk about.
But I got to
I'm
say,
not sure
when
what we
Matt
talk
started
about.
laughing at that thing, it
Jesus
almost made
says
me
they're
start busting
communist
out laughing
pussies.
as
These
well. But
guys
anyways,
are.
moving on from that, we
Oh,
did get
well,
to see that
fuck
there is
them.
still a massive conga line of airlifts that
Fuck
are being
'em.
conducted by the United States
Yes,
into the
Ukraine did
Middle East
strike
and
a
out of the Middle
tanker.
East over the
Yeah.
course of the day, once again showing us that major sustainment
So
operations are underway. And now, moving us on out of the Middle East and on into Europe, we probably have some of the craziest news that we could ever tell y'all. Poland has announced through its government today officially that they are now going to be seeking the path of obtaining their own nuclear weapons. So the Republic of Poland has officially announced that they will be starting a nuclear weapons program and will be attempting to develop and field their own nuclear weaponry. Now, where in the world did that come out of? Well, it came out of left field. Have they been planning this for long? I mean, I don't really know. But one thing I will tell you is that this is absolutely insane. Generally, we all support here in the West the idea of nuclear non-proliferation, meaning that we don't want everyone in the world having their own nuclear weapons. So the Polish pursuing this sort of a path isn't necessarily the best idea, at least in my opinion. I think that the higher number of nations that do possess nuclear weapons, the closer we will get to a nuclear exchange. I mean, we're already at the point where nuclear warfare is always kind of on everyone's minds here and there, with just a handful of countries having them. If everybody in the world has nuclear weapons, a nuclear war breaking out somewhere and then opening up that Pandora's box of nuclear weaponry being used in warfare is completely acceptable, begins to become a higher likelihood, at least statistically and percentage wise. And then we could see nuclear war breaking out over most of the world as a normal conventional tactic at that point. A lot of people aren't talking right now about whether this is a good idea or not. And Matthew, what are people thinking about this right now? And what are you thinking about it as well?
So it looks like 46% of the audience said, yes, it's a good idea. Poland must be nuclear armed, while 30% said, no, that's a bad idea. It'll cause major issues, specifically with Russia. And 17% said, I'm 50-50 on this one. So to explain why Poland is currently making this move right here, and we'll get into exactly what move they're making in just a second, because there's a little bit of a detail to it that's pretty important to make. But the reason why this is the case is because Poland is not confident in the NATO alliance anymore. This is what that indicates. They are trying to create a nuclear umbrella for themselves, along with Germany and France, and they're trying to extend that umbrella over toward Poland, which is obviously butting right up to Belarus. So that's why they're doing it. But here's the catch. We don't know if this is going to be a nuclear sharing program or if it's going to be a nuclear development program. We don't know which one it is. It could be simply maybe Germany's going to lend Poland some nukes to have in their territory, or maybe France will do that. We're not really sure yet. But here's the catch. This is the big catch right here. Russia is going to use this for a pretext for war. I am very confident about that. Russia is already like acting crazy. They're already threatening to like invade the Baltic states. They're already doing crazy stuff, and they're losing the war in Ukraine also as well. And also Ukraine's retaking a whole bunch of ground right now. And unfortunately, we haven't had time to report on it, but Ukraine is continuing to advance against the Russian forces in their territory. So it's not going good for Russia. And also their economy is on the brink. It's still on the brink. So I think Russia will say that this is a pretext for war because now Poland, obtaining nukes, is putting a nuclear armed state right on the border with Belarus, which is a Russian aligned state, a very heavily Russian aligned state. So it's going to lead to some probably strong situations. That's putting it mildly. But I'm actually 50-50. I'm not entirely sure if now is the great time for that. Poland's already protected by Germany, by the way. But at the same time, it seems to be kind of bringing us a step closer toward a really bad global situation. But Enforcer, what say you?
I would say that I would be with a 30%. They should not have a nuclear weapon. That would be a pretty bad idea. Nuclear proliferation is a not solid idea generally at all. I mean, the fact that nuclear weapons exist means that it will be a necessary evil, that nuclear weapons have to exist at a minimum in the world to some extent. But nuclear weaponry is not something that we would want to see proliferate to every single country in the world. If Poland gets their own nuclear weapons, for one, that's a huge pretext for non-proliferation activities by the Russians, meaning that a war with NATO could definitely begin at that point.
That's all
By
fucking
international treaty,
hypothetical
the Russians actually have
bullshit.
a legal
That's like
precedent
a
at that
million
point to
fucking
do that,
steps off the
much like
field.
we're doing with Iran
how
right
would
now.
Poland get a nuke? They
So,
wouldn't. They
that could
nuke
definitely
share with
cause a
somebody.
greater escalation inside of Europe.
Like
And also,
Polish
I saw some people
independent
say
nukes, there are a
nuclear
million
weapons
fucking
means
things that would happen
nobody
before that
attacks you.
happens. So,
Oh, really? Well, then
So-
why did the Taliban attack nuclear armed
That's all
Pakistan?
fucking
And why
retarded.
did nuclear armed India attack nuclear armed Pakistan? And why is Ukraine bombing nuclear armed Russia deep within their territory, even flying over some of their nuclear sites?
Tim, I would talk to
go
a
and
lawyer
hit
if I were you,
strategic
just to make
targets in
sure you're
Russia
protected.
and counterattacking. Because if nuclear weapons completely provided a shield, then we would see that the war between Pakistan
I would definitely
and
talk
India,
to a lawyer just to
Pakistan
make
and
sure you don't need,
Afghanistan,
like, talk to
and the
a
war between
lawyer
Ukraine
who
and Russia,
practices employment law
for one, the war in Ukraine and Russia
to make
would have
sure
never
you're
continued
okay in
on
your
farther
state.
than, say, a couple of
Because you don't
weeks,
need that
because it would have been
bullshit coming
started
around
getting
on
nuked.
you.
So clearly that shows that nuclear weapons are not some sort of a holy shield that stops you from being attacked. Wars can still happen.
So I really
but
would
because
check on
everyone
that.
else has nuclear weapons, now the
So-
chances of nuclear weapons being used in a war is a lot more likely. So I'd have to say this is just, in my opinion, not a great idea to see. I wouldn't like the idea of Poland having nuclear weapons. I think if they wanted to coordinate with
This
the
is
French,
so
to have
fucking, like,
French nuclear weapons
we might as well
deployed in
talk
Poland,
about if your
that's
aunt had a
totally
dick,
fine,
she'd be
because
your
that's not
uncle.
technically nuclear
Like, yes,
proliferation.
that, like,
That's
that,
just
this
nuclear
ain't
weapons
fucking
sharing
happening. It's
for
never happening.
deployments of nuclear weapons. But Poland having its own nuclear weapons program and its own nuclear weapons only increases the risks of nuclear warfare happening at some point in the future. And not only that, opens up the door for Russia to make the point on international treaty that a war with NATO is necessary because they're allowing Poland to violate the non-nuclear proliferation treaty. And that would cause an actual third world war. I mean, the war right now in the Middle East is regional, and people are already scared about this thing passing on into a third world war. It would be an absolutely horrific idea to give the Russians an actual international treaty invocation to start a war with
Yeah.
Poland that could then start a NATO Article 5 declaration.
And you also had to factor in that, obviously it's a regional war. The U.S. is attacking Iran, and right now it's confined to the region. So you're seeing that break out. The entire region right now is in pure chaos.
Let's see here.
That's
Trying to
clear
let
as a
this
bell at
blue
this
dry
point.
chat.
But you have to remember the effect that's going to have on Russia. Russia is losing another key ally. They're going to lose Iran. That's a pretty big ally for Russia, believe it or not. It seems like not really a big deal, but for Russia and the state they're in, it's a very big deal that they're losing Iran. Also, they just lost Syria too. Like, remember that before Iran, they lost Syria. So Russia's losing allies left and right.
We need to hit this with a little bit of
strain and also
sealant just to make sure it's good to go.
Corner. And now, adding on top of it, this whole situation.
You never signed anything. Yeah, don't. But I'm just saying, go talk to a lawyer just to make sure your bases are covered. And that way, you can fucking, your boss knows you're not fucking around.
All for
That's
NATO
just my
protecting
advice.
itself. Everybody has been here on the
But what
channel
do
for
I?
a long
I'm just
time
an
knows that we
asshole.
are
So
highly in support of NATO. We 100% believe that they should protect their territory, but we should not try to accelerate, like stomp on the gas toward World War III. We should not do that.
So,
because it's not necessary.
but yeah, V2 being like, I talked to
It's not
Sven, but
necessary to
I'm
put
just
nukes
not
into
sure what
Poland
we'd
can
be
be
talking
protected
about. I mean,
without putting nukes there,
I think
and
he's
letting Poland
based.
actually possess them. So
So
we ought to be careful. Like Poland has done a great job.
do you cover
helping
Turtle
Ukraine
Boy
out.
having
They've done a
sloppy
great job
OPSEC?
protecting
No.
NATO at the front, because of course they're in
I mean,
the
they're in
front
a whole
lines
lot
right
there.
now.
It's
They're
like,
right buttoned up
I
to
mean,
Belarus, but I think they might be taking a step too far with this one. They might be going a little bit too overboard.
Yeah, and I see some people saying the analysis is dubious. Well, I mean, if it's dubious and the idea of people getting nuclear weapons is fine, why are we bombing Iran right now? Why did that whole war start? It started because they're still trying to go towards getting a nuclear weapon. So, there you have it. I mean, it's like if the idea of people getting nuclear
if your
weapons
job
was no
backed
biggie,
you all the way,
why
then
are we
fuck
killing
yeah.
every single government
Good.
official in Iran right now? Kind of brings around.
I would still just go talk to somebody
weapons,
to have a name on like
people bombing
retainer.
you to stop you from getting a
I
nuclear
name retainer,
weapon
but
before you
just
actually have one.
call a guy,
So
kind of do a
with Poland announcing
consultation,
that right
and
now, I
just
think
have
they need
him
to make
ready
a
to go in
clarification
case he
that
needs
this might
it.
just be for deployment of
So-
French nuclear weapons. Because if they don't, I mean, this is literally just inviting the Russians to go, we will not allow Poland to have nuclear weapon. NATO is supporting nuclear proliferation for the Soviets when we bomb Poland. And then when Poland gets bombed, at that point, it's a defensive situation. Then they invoke Article 5 or they invoke Article 4, and then that invokes Article 5, and now we're in a legit World War III. Nuclear armed powers versus another nuclear armed power on the battlefield across the whole of Eastern Europe.
So
there is one more possibility that we haven't talked about yet. There is a slight chance that maybe Poland really doesn't mean this. Because also remember this, by the way, it's a bit strange that Poland publicized this information, because you typically wouldn't want to go out and say, hey, we want nukes. We're going to be getting them here shortly. That's probably not a good thing to say in the midst of this situation right now with the global tensions. That's probably not wise to say that. It could be that Poland's trying to put pressure on the United States to redeploy forces to the NATO front. And that could be another possibility here. It could be a pressure tactic to get the United States to sort of jump back in to prevent Poland from getting nukes by offering some type of concessions. That way they back off that idea. That could be another reason as well.
Also, I see some people are like, Poland is not the same as the terrorists in Iran. You're not getting it. Let's think outside the box here. Russia hates the West. They don't care if Poland's a terrorist state like Iran, which is their ally. We're bombing their ally because they're trying to get a nuclear weapon, and we're not going to accept that. They aren't going to allow one of our allies to get a nuclear weapon in violation of an international treaty. It doesn't matter if Poland is comparable to Iran internally, politically, or not.
Guys, we need somebody else.
They're trying to get a nuclear weapon. They're directly doing that.
They're wasting time. They're still wasting time in this
Iran,
Poland
so
having a nuclear fucking weapon.
It doesn't matter if
like
there
seriously
is a in Poland.
Seriously, they're wasting more time on Poland having a fucking nuclear weapon. What the fuck are they doing? Like, move on to something fucking else. Move on to something fucking else. Like, come on now, kids. Come on now. So, I can't. Oh. So let's see here. Mikey's show. Oh, I mean, is he live now or no? Oh, well, hell, hell, they're still going live.
Suck it. No, I've seen
It's-
like Frog and
We're gonna watch
I mean
EVS
the I
sucking
suck
men's
is
dicks.
the next one. There you
Oh,
see, I
okay.
Suck.
We'll do this.
Wow, I suck.
So there you go.
Wow. I don't know. I mean, maybe we should save a little something for Saturday. I don't know. It's getting-
Also on my mind, tomorrow is my birthday. I
So
really haven't thought much about it.
if you guys don't know, Crapcast, Wiggle, Matt Barr, these guys have been in Comicsgate forever and been dealing with EVS forever. And now we're finding out EVS is a fucking proof that he's a turd. So they've been going full tilt on the making EVS Safa train. So let's see what's going on here on the EVS front.
That's a lie.
They've been going all night, apparently. Wiggle sent me a DM earlier. He's like, want to come on? I'm like, I'm a little busy with the Corey Richards
I
trial.
know what it is.
So, yeah,
because
Ethan Van
it's
Sciver.
Our living room.
It's in on
Difficult not to notice, and it's
So, yeah.
totally awesome. I think she's talking about it on her blog, which is
Hold
also
up.
Here we go,
available.
chat.
I'll
All right.
stop. That
Mhm.
means his ex-wife has a blog too.
So
Yeah,
we need
that means she has a blog about her
like-
marriage, her breaking up,
Desert
her new
Walk.
man, her skydiving.
Oh no!
I need some brown.
Oh no,
Dude, we are spelunking and the cave gets deeper. The cave just cracked open.
All
dude.
right.
We
I
just
gotta
saw
figure
like
some stuff out
another.
here.
Holy fuck!
Holy
Is that another
fuck.
cavern in there?
Holy fuck.
Is this?
Oh,
There's another cavern. Get some rope. We're going deeper.
I'm gonna die.
Get some rope. We're going deeper.
I'm gonna die, dude. Oh, we're gonna get this the Ski Diver Chronicles.
She's gonna be like, looks, I know he draws comics, but this guy
Oh.
jumps out of airplanes on the daily. He makes me so hot.
Oh, no.
When I skydive with him, the wetness of my vagina.
He has the same question. Theirs has a blog.
Yes. Who is this guy? We should talk to this guy too. Does he have a blog?
Oh, no.
Sheriff Van Sciver.
Oh man. Woo. Oh my gosh. Oh no. Oh, I was hoping to click on this and see Sarah's like commenting.
Scroll
on it.
down some more. Scroll down some more. Something about Blammo.
Then I had my release show on Blammo too. It's really what do you
Okay, I wasn't sure,
Yeah. Wow. Oh, when I first read the title to this post, I didn't realize what was really going to be the last time on No Superheroes to See Here. What's going on there? Wow,
Mm.
man.
Hey guys. Hey guys.
Oh, wow. I know. I'm breathing, man.
Yeah, it's old stuff people are finding.
This is killing me.
So
Sean is watching it on his stream. Sean is give Sean the rundown so he knows what his audience is watching. Okay, so basically what we're here now.
we're
is
digging
we
up
have
all of Ethan
unearthed
Van Sciver's past.
unknown knowledge of Ethan Van Sciver going back to this right here. So we got the stateforum.com. So this was all because of a comment. I stumbled upon this because I had one of my mini Wiggle agents reported back to me and said, hey, there's a comment on Flash's live stream from last Saturday night. This comment.
Mm-hmm.
And
This
this
is
is
a
where
chain of evidence here.
it's a chain of events what you're witnessing tonight. So it started with this comment here. And folks should do some digging on Ethan Van Sciver's time on Jinx World forums.
Mm-hmm.
Did some pretty fucked up shit.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody knew. I didn't know what the fuck that was. Nobody knew who the fuck that was. And I started making, after a few dead ends, I stumbled upon this.
Mm-hmm.
And I unveiled this tonight.
Mm-hmm.
This fucking elephant in the room, which leads to this website right here, leads to this forum post, which
Yes,
is
so we know Ethan's a fucking
Ethan
creeper.
Van Sciver problems. And this is from 2015 of people complaining about not getting their commissions from Evan.
Mhm.
Multiple people.
Dozens of them, dozens and dozens and dozens of them. And then I dropped
On one platform. Like this is just
Right.
on one platform.
It's just one platform. Well, the rabbit hole goes deep. It's
Mhm.
a cavern. It's a ginormous cave of craziness. And fucking Student of God, I dropped the link for this, and Student of God did some digging and found this fucking blog post from 2008. So it's
Yes, where it actually reveals his origin story. We know why he became evil now.
we
Yeah.
know why he
It
became
hardened
evil.
his soul.
That he didn't get a Transformer for Christmas.
Omega Supreme.
The Pan story kills me though. This
No,
one's-
you know what's funny is, did you know DSP is still mad that he didn't get this Wolverine kit when he was a kid? It's
shit. Woodrow's like, I love that Wiggle's directly talking to another YouTuber stream sniping his stream.
Yeah.
Hey, it's what we do, chat.
Hey. He's
Hey,
just
man.
rolling with it. Yeah,
Hey,
it's
man.
fantastic.
Yeah, and this is why he misses Pan. So here we go, right in this blog post right here from December 28th, 2008. Because apparently Evan gets very sensitive about Christmas because he didn't get the Alpha Omega fucking Transformer.
Mm-mm.
He didn't get it because he was an asshole to his siblings.
Yep.
That's why he didn't get it.
Shit on him. The kid was like upset about a bicycle. He's like fucking with the kid the whole time.
He was telling his younger brother that he's not going to get the bicycle he likes. Like, you're not going to get it, but then he did get it. So
Yep.
everybody got what they wanted except for Evan. Evan didn't get what he wanted. He didn't get, here it is. And you
Perfect.
got your bike. I did not receive my Transformers Omega Supreme action figure that transformed from a stupid looking gray and orange futuristic city into a stout, ridiculous looking gray and orange
Stout.
robot. This broke my heart and forever hardened my soul.
Yeah.
Why
Broke
couldn't
my
I
heart.
harden his soul?
Harden my soul. You better harden my soul.
And this is where it goes. So we've got why couldn't I have a few Transformers? We live next door to Jack, that little Marie Antoinette of awesome toys, who was so blessed with He-Man and Star Wars toys that he'd actually bury them in his backyard when he got bored with them. I exhumed a Lando Calrissian.
I saved you, Lando.
I saved you, Lando.
It's like Cloud City.
It's like he saved Lando out of like some sort of carbonite. Ethan jumped over a fence. He trespassed to save this Lando figure.
Dude, it's gotta be.
So to have that Lando figure now rejecting him is like,
Oh, it's devastating.
it's hurt, dude.
Dude.
The hurt is deep, dude. Talk about the first cut is the deepest. This is that first cut. Just
Oh,
deep,
EDW
dude.
for
it's so
20
deep,
subs. Thank you, E EDW.
He's rejected. Dude, when Pan dumped him back in 2020, that's why it was so devastating to him. Now it
Mhm.
all makes sense. We were just talking about this earlier in the stream. This is why it was so devastating when Evan dumped him on his own channel.
He turned him into a little child with a muddy toy. Like,
But the toy came alive and called him a faggot.
All right,
you're a
chat,
faggot, and just like this big fat man just shrunk down into a small sad boy, and was like,
Oh, EDW for another 20
I'm a
subs.
faggot.
Jesus. For 20 more. Thank you.
Oh, last match of the year. He says,
Damn.
if only
Thank you,
Evan
man.
got
Thank
his
you.
Omega Supreme toy that one time, Tim Lim would still be CG.
That's what I was saying earlier, dude. I was like, what if he got that toy?
What if he
What if he got
got that toy?
Transformer?
There's some universe, another timeline where he got it, and things
Oh,
are totally
AEW.
different.
Yeah, I
There's
know,
like a
dude.
timeline where like Hitler kept painting,
Right,
and there's a
that didn't get
timeline where
respected.
like Ethan got his Transformer, you know.
Man, I'm telling you, man, it brought up childhood memories when I dumped him in front of his own audience.
Dude,
Dude,
He,
it
like,
did. We
jumped
did.
the
We had no
fence.
idea. We had
Nice.
no idea. I'm dying. I'm dying.
just
This
like
is-
his first jerking off, making eye to eye contact with that
Oh.
toy, and then
Ooh.
20 years later getting rejected. It's
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah, that his balls dropped when he got that toy.
That toy went into his asshole on several occasions, and then to have it reject him.
Oh, this is too deep, man. This is too deep. I know. Yeah, this
That
is way
toy
too-
went deep in his ass.
Oh, man. I like honestly, I didn't do that much digging into this info when I first got it. I didn't know what to expect. I really fucking had no idea. I had no
Fucked up.
idea, man. This is insane. This goes so much deeper. Wow. Wow, dude. And I've only scratched the
photo.
surface. Look at all these posts here, man.
He's got a couple of posts. 2008, he's got 11. It looks
Oh.
like.
Oh no, I'm gonna click on his. Oh my gosh. Wow.
About me.
About me. He doesn't have anything written.
So it's just that. That's his.
Yeah.
That's the blog right there. I'm guessing.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's just the blog.
Oh, hey guys.
That's the name of the blog. No super.
Okay, that's the name of the blog. Okay, so
That's
you have
the
to
name of
like
the
scroll
blog.
down and click some other shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
because he starts off begging people not to read it. He's like, "This is only for my close friends and family."
Guys, please don't read this. It's about moments that I had as a child. But yeah, does he get into his wife leaving him? I want to see some of that shit. I want to see him start blogging about his wife leaving him.
Dude, this is obnoxiously, man. It's rip free times infinity, man. No wonder he ran from you on Pod Awful and everywhere else. It all makes sense now.
Yeah, but there's a
I can-
Lando Calrissian figure in the shower. Yeah, it's there.
Are we where's Raptor? I haven't seen Raptor in the chat at all. Is he gonna be is he streaming tomorrow? Come on, man. Dude. What have I done? What have I
It's like The Gate. You know that movie, The Gate? You've like opened the gate open. There's all these fucking weird
Holy
little
shit,
fat Ethan
dude.
Van Sciver monsters climbing out of it.
Dude, I almost feel like he better stream tomorrow. That's right, Neo. I am gonna be sore. Fucking hurting, man. Oh, he never needed Shanus. He had Pando. Michael's like you.
Oh, Lando, you don't understand, Pan. I have a thing for Lando. When you reject me,
Let's not forget. Let's not forget the honored member of tonight's stream. This fucking not all heroes wear capes.
Yeah.
Eval 64.
Fucking A, man. Fucking A right, Bubba.
What a fucking king. Fucking king, dude.
Jeez.
They were all kneeling out of respect.
I see nothing wrong with.
Yeah. All he had to do was make his. All he had to do was make the
nothing
motherfucking.
to say. Twat waffle.
All he had to do was make motherfucking picture books. All he had to do is make fucking picture
Dude,
books.
I want the divorce I want the divorce entry.
Oh man,
Yep.
it's
want
gotta
that bad.
exist. It's gotta exist. If his ex-wife has a blog,
The ex-wife blog.
she has a
and
blog.
then,
Yeah, he says it in here that she has a blog.
that time period, the time period where they're divorcing. That's what I want.
Yeah. That's right. Judo Joe Black, bro. The divorce blog has to be found. It will be found.
Yes.
Yeah, Cervix.
I agree,
It's like,
Bob,
damn, why
yes.
does all the good shit happen when I'm at work? I don't know, man.
No, this is good.
Oh man, this is wild. But I am going to go in for almost 5 hours, so I think I'm going to end it. It is getting late. It's after midnight. Oh, you found it. Wait a minute, you found it.
Stop.
Stop. You did not.
It's
You
too
found it.
good. It's too
Hold
good.
on a second. Hold on. You just got yourself a fucking wrench. Hold on a second.
Oh,
No,
wow.
for sure.
Oh, chat.
Oh, yeah, where are you?
Deet, 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 deet,
Oh,
deet, deet,
man.
deet, deet, deet.
Let's see. Let me
Yes.
I gotta go down. Come on. There we go.
That's an interesting
oh,
take,
I
no.
think
Geopathic.
people have tried to.
This is
contact
worthy of
the ex-wife,
discussion
but
here.
She is not interested.
Chris Chan.
It
I
doesn't
mean, think about
matter.
this.
She's not
The internet's
interested.
forever. He's talking about the blog. He's
Was
talking
that
about
more
the blog.
reliable?
No, I
than
know,
Ethan
but I'm
Van Sciver?
saying nobody's interviewed the
Wow.
ex-wife. She's not
She's not
interested in
interested.
talking.
That's fucking deep. That's deep,
Oh
man.
boy. Dragon Nexus for $5. Quartering's wife has her Sky Bowl. EVS wife has her Sky Dive Bowl. What is this? No way, bro. Holy fuck. Holy
They
fuck,
found
man.
it?
What is this link? What is this motherfucking link? Dude, it's it. Oh no!
Uh-oh, Johan.
Let me have it. Let me see.
Oh no!
Are they all
Oh,
cucks?
no!
Bunny
The
blog.
bunny blog.
Yeah, well, we're gonna paint this up with some fluff
Whoa,
to make a base joke.
bunny
Looks like so.
blog.
It's a
Huh?
fucking
I'm the bunny blog.
It goes back to Dax Herrera.
Oh, hey, little. mama.
Oh shit!
Oh my god!
Does it?
Holy fuck, bro!
How recent is
What? What?
this? What?
Wow.
What is this? She called him Biggie.
Hey, Biggie. I met all the required physical standards for the
Oh.
military for my age and sex, except that my body fat is too high.
Wow. Yeah, this is
How old is this?
2011.
What are all these fucking
This post was from
where
2011.
are the photos at? Are there no photos?
I think they've been removed or something, or they're private. She knew how to do it. Let's see. I'm a big girl now. Let's see what we have. Dinner party from hell. Let's see, September.
Shoot like a girl.
Yeah. I'm gonna see how much holy cow this thing is still on. Wow.
Wow.
This is
Okay, well,
crazy, dude.
that's not something I expected to have to go to sleep to listen to
Future
tonight.
Marine.
Wow. Future Marine. Where do you see that at?
Right there. Second line, second paragraph.
Yeah.
Mm.
They had a petting zoo with baby goats, a camel, a cow that you can milk. Future Marine just wanted to hug a cow. So
A
they
cow
let him.
named
Come on.
It
Juju.
was adorable. They're talking about Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
Future Marine / not Future Marine.
Mm-hmm.
This military stuff must be how she got into skydiving.
More like how the skydiving got into her.
Jesus
man.
Christ, these guys
Get
are
those
rough.
guts pumped.
All
Yeah, all the
right.
pictures are gone. This is wild.
Yeah, she doesn't want anybody to see her getting her guts pumped.
No comments. This is crazy, man. This is wild.
Fall is officially here. Is that about her getting fucked? Like, is while they're skydiving?
This is insane.
Maybe. Oh man, ball's officially here this week. I think this is after the divorce, though. I think this is no, this would have been right before the divorce. This is crazy, man. Holy shit. Let's see what.
Oh, something about Ethan won't go skydiving because he won't get in the airplane. He's too much of a pussy. I'm
Yeah.
just kidding. I just made that up.
Corn maze.
Jesus, Matt.
I'm skimming through it. Uh-oh.
But
Look
I
at
get him and
Sky
Matt have a
Top.
history too.
The apples are picked at Skytop. Oh no.
I think that's where the skydiver fucked her first. They went and picked apples, and then they fucked.
Holy cow, this thing is still on. Wow, I've forgotten I had a blog. I guess it's been a while. Okay, I did all the old stuff. I'm going to try to be more on the ball and keeping this thing up regularly. P.S. Starbucks just brought back the pumpkin spice latte last week. Oh boy. Yeah, and that's it. Let's see comments. Yep, that's
Charisse the bunny.
Yep, Cerise the bunny, man.
Oh geez.
Here we go. Wow, man. Yeah, like way back
Here we go,
machine
chat.
might have copies of July
We'll,
2013,
we'll,
maybe.
we'll brown this up here in a
fucking
second. Let it
wild.
dry. Might need another coat.
This
Might
is
need a light
incredible.
base coat underneath.
Like I'm kind of curious
some
about what's
texture
going
here.
on with the rest of
He sticks
this
to
one.
mostly classics.
Wow.
Oh, Vinyl Revolution. Hope you feel
This is so
hope you
bizarre,
feel better.
man. This is so absolutely bizarre.
Every time you see photos with him and his wife, it's like weird, like 90s sitcom families where it's like a dumpy ass husband and like a barely decent looking wife.
We need to flood Evan's chat with apples. Yes, dude, apples in the chat. Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, hey, we're not going to get through all this in one night. That is for sure. This is a gift that's going to keep on giving. And I mean, the links have been shared. The links are out there. Like, get on it. Wiggle, Agents of Wiggle. Fucking have at it, bro. Make me laugh. Make me fucking laugh. Dragon Knox is for $5. EVS delivered orgasms like he delivers comics. He doesn't.
Ooh.
Oh man. I always thought Vanessa had dossiers on all of us. They shouldn't have screwed around with a Marine. There you go. I got a thread going. Oh, good. Oh, he's got a thread going. Yeah, Wigglers unite. That's right, brother. Dude, so much future content. Dude, this is welcome to hell, Evan. You wanted,
buddy.
You wanted this. We warned you. We warned you years ago. We fucking warned you, but God, your ego would not stop. You would not listen. You would not care. You were right. You had to be right.
Your misery tastes so good, dude.
Oh, dude, so good.
The sweetest nectar.
The sweetest.
Yeah, we didn't finish that video, but on that video, when he's seething about me, he's like, Winger said he wants me to kill myself. And I was like, that never happened. What I told him was I want him to keep living because I love watching him suffer so much.
Oh man, go sub to Sean's Model Bench. Oh, that's where he's streaming at right now. Hold on. We gotta do a raid on his Model Bench. Fucking Sean's Model Bench.
Model bench.
Yeah. Hold on.
Jeez.
Model bench.
All right. Well,
He just like makes shit up.
no, never falter. I don't.
Give him some give him some fucking subs. He's only got 72 people watching. Here's the link. Copy paste. I wonder how can I organize a raid to let's make
I don't think
everybody
I'm
go
big
over
enough
there?
to allow that.
You could do a redirect.
A redirect. How do I do that?
I think it's in your YouTube.
I don't think I'm big enough to allow that yet.
Studio.
YouTube
Somewhere.
studio? Okay. Let's see if I can figure it out. Let's see if I can figure it out here. Gotta go to my YouTube studio. We're gonna do it in real time because I'm a total hack. Yeah, I don't know how to do a redirect. No idea. No clue.
You put his link in the chat, right?
I did. I don't think it needs much dialogue. I'm reading the chat here.
I think to do the raid, you have to be streaming from YouTube and not StreamYards.
Okay.
That's
Gotcha.
not
Well, he
true.
rated me. I didn't have to click on anything or do anything. So, he's rated me before. There you go.
Just everybody head over there.
Yeah.
You dropped the link, right?
Head over,
Hamper.
you
Yeah, I did.
faggots.
Cervix Hamper. Cervix Hammer. Off topic, Wiggle, are you and Kurt going to be recalled into service? I can't be. I'm too old, man. I find it unlikely. Too old, too many banged up injuries, too many broken bones,
Wiggle's too gay,
and everything else. Like I couldn't pass much of anything because I'm
too many black pills.
Yeah. But you never know, man.
There we go.
Lasmat found Sheriff's X account, but I don't think we should bother her. She doesn't have anything to do with this shit.
Yeah, no, I'm not bothering her. I'm not contacting her.
No, this is good enough.
I forget what the rule is for the redirect,
like
Joe.
Sister does,
so
sure. But
and then you have to allow
comes
it.
To me.
Bonbon's a usurper.
I'm not going to her. Let's see.
They said come over and do it, and then nobody's
I
come
cry
over.
Into my
so
DD
that's awesome.
In 20 years since, oh man, really? Yes, yeah, I know. I can't believe, dude. It's been 20 years since I've been back, which I can't believe. This year, it's 20 years.
Wow,
I know, it's crazy. I don't feel like it, but it's fucking. I'm too. Yeah, he's too. Snarky's like Kirk is too gay now. All right, go over to fucking Sean's place, man. Go raid him. I don't know how to figure that out. I will figure it out soon. And thank you, Hail Snark, for dropping. I'm going to show this. I think I've made a decision on which. He sent me a link here for the best fucking tape recorders. Yeah, so I'm checking out some tape decks to give you guys proper audio service.
Hail.
Hail. Sean says you are too gay. That's right. Yeah. Night. Stay gay. Go raid Sean's chat. Hail the chat. Thank you all for being here. So much more backholing to come. Sleep tight with your Pando dolls, chat. Fucking hell.
And man. Dream of Transformers.
That you'll never
Omega
have.
Supremes.
That you'll never have.
What's up, Wiggle? No. Okay, so we use the buff to base it. We're gonna get that out of the way here. Trying to think what we're gonna do here, because we got camo gray, which isn't really what we're looking for. We got field drab, which is dark. And then camo brown might be a good one. And then camo gray green, we're not going to use. Not using, maybe I'll use yellow to like touch shit up, but US sand. I think we're going to use these three right here. So what up, Wigglers? Yes, apparently EVS is having a day of days now. So, oh yeah, let's get the 1K. That'd be nice. Hey Jim, thanks for 8 months. All right, so if you guys are just getting in here, we're gonna take this dude here, he's got his MG34 and his little belt of ammo, and we're trying to give him a little bit of. I thought it'd be neat to have just some different standard positions for these guys. So he's basically crouched down on the wall, just laying down hate. Wart Winger says, I'm going to hit the sack. Thanks for sharing stream. Well, you're welcome. So I just think it's neat to give this guy a little bit of a thing here, because it's boring if they all do the same thing all the time. I just can't make them all prone out. Also, this is one of my 3D printed long pedestals for these bolt action guys. So we got some stuff we're working on. Have I watched the new Mikey No More documentary, Garfield? No, but we can fire that up. Let's see here. Let's see here. Let's take a look at let's see here. Where is it? Mikey no more. Mikey. Oh no more. Here we go. Mikey no more. Okay. Ooh, Nick Fuentes and Maina failed to save the West. That's interesting. We might do that one day. So let's see what we got here, though. Jeremy Hambley, the rich. I did see the biggest fight in the universe, like the grift thing going here. I only watched like 2 minutes of this. I didn't realize this was like yesterday, but we'll take a look at it. Here we go.
If you know anything about me,
let's go.
You know that I love this. This is what I like. I like openness. I like honesty. I like the facts being out there. I love receipts. When I have receipts, I give receipts.
Ethan Van Sciver is sick in the head. Like, actually, he's actually insane, stricken with self-afflicted Ripper derangement syndrome. Every thought, every opinion, every action revolves around what the Black libertarian comic man is going to do next. How many books has Eric July launched? A lot. How much revenue is he making? A lot. How often is he still crashing out over those bitch-ass roads? A lot. In the past 3 years, especially in the year since I made my last Comicsgate video, Comicsgate has essentially just become the Eric July detractorverse. This is all they do. That and grifting their audience for books that will take forever to come out, if they ever do. The thing about EVS is that we're at the point where his reputation is starting to proceed. Right. You can only lie, scheme, and play internet cult leader for so long before your own shenanigans start catching up to you. You would think the simple mission statement of finished comic, ship comic would be a simple thing to fulfill. But your problem is that you aren't a middle-aged, bipolar, narcissistic, washed-up comic book pro. The Frog King can't just do what Eric July or Timothy Lim do and just mind their business and make their comic books. No, the drama in the super chats must flow. But we're hitting a diminishing return phase of Comicsgate when it comes to new members, new viewers, new super chatters, new crowd fund backers, and pretty much new everything. Everything is worse than it was a year ago, which is worse than it was a year before that. The human sunbeam is running out of money, time, minions, his backers' patience, and also internet friends.
What made EVS not like you? What was
because
the thing?
I didn't want to talk to him anymore. Well, I just and one day, like I was really contemplating it. Like, why do I hang out with this fucking guy? He's bad for business. He would come on my stream sometimes and start shitting on Nerdrotic and calling FNT zeros. It's like, I'm cool with these people. I'd have to DM these guys and say, listen, he ran his mouth. I'm not cool with that. I would have to constantly sweep up his bullshit.
Oh,
and I'm tired of it. It's not worth having him around. He's literally bad for business.
Even War Campaign doesn't mess with him anymore. On the contrary, War Campaign are some of their former Caesar's biggest ops, constantly poking, prodding, and exposing him for his greasiness. And have no doubt, Uncle E lives in fear of his old shit poster legion. If you bring up any member of War Campaign, he'll start to seize up and will hashtag blame War Campaign for just about anything.
Somebody said that, like, is it true? What happened at like a convention?
Oh God, he's getting notes from retards here. Stop it, Shine. Are you sitting here getting like notes from like war campaigners and stuff right now?
I don't know what all this shit is. These weird terms and stuff.
Yeah, I know. Like a retired mafia hitman who has to look over his shoulder for the rest of his life in fear that he'll get whacked. EVS now lives in a state of constant paranoia of one day being crucified by his former brothers and shitposted. Honestly, just living is a punishment for Ethan these days. Back during his infamous drunk stream where he was toe up from the flow up, tongue in urinals, and flirting with homeless lesbians who let him take a hit of that good in a parking lot, he called himself a nobody.
I came out to the bar, some people recognized me. I'm nobody. I used to be somebody, but I'm nobody now. even still, some people recognize me.
Now, some of you might say, well, Mikey, Ethan was really intoxicated and maybe a bit emotional that night. You can't take something like that too seriously. Okay, sure. But there's not really a way to excuse all those times he said, while very much sober, that he's living in hell.
Look at where we are right now. Look at the corner of the world that we've been shoved into via cancel culture. We're with people who are in similar straits, who used to be but or never were, who want to be but can't. You know, we're with these people now. This is hell. This is what hell is.
And I can't even blame Uncle E for thinking he's Dante Alighieri wandering through the 9 circles of hell, because being the Frog King of Comet Skate ain't all it was once cracked up to be. At his peak, Ethan was arguably the single most influential guy in the indie crowdfunded comic space. Frog Caesar, bringing in millions with his campaigns, with his loyal CG lieutenants, bringing in 6 figures themselves. Everybody was balling out on Super Chat donos, tons of viewers on their streams, tons of growth in motion going on in Comic Skate. Even the CG slums were somewhat closer to lower middle class than outright poverty. Yeah, all that is over with, nigga. The $1 million campaigns are gone and they ain't coming back. The only project of Ethan's to make over $200K in the past 2 years is the campaign for the Rainbow the Brute action figure. An action figure for a comic that Ethan Van Sciver is still over 4 years late on delivering. And things are getting about as tough for the rest of the Comic Skate aristocracy, if not even tougher. Campaigns in 2025 just weren't hitting like they were in 2020 or 2021. And the comments of these campaigns are full of backers demanding refunds and calling the CG creators thieves. This is the new status quo for Comic Skate. They can try and push their own continuities on YouTube and Twitter all they want, but no matter how much they try to doomsayer Max about the Rippaverse, at the end of the day, Eric July is putting out more comics each year than all of Comic Skate combined. Literally, the opposite is the case for the Eric July Detractorverse that is modern Comic Skate. And no amount of prognosis from Ethan Van Sciver is going to change that very sad reality. But all that ain't the only reason why EVS thinks he's living in hell. On top of losing friends, losing money, losing backers, and losing his mind, his prognosis, his ability to manipulate the minds of those around him, has lost its potency. Part of this has been that EVS has just been giving the game away for too long. Like when he admitted in January of 2025 that he records private conversations and saves them for future gay-opping use.
Let the trash flow. I can't do it. I have honor. I forgot. I've never told anyone this. I have it on tape. Because I thought he was going to say something perhaps that my lawyer might need to hear. I have that whole conversation. Phone tap, Ethan. Now, here's the thing. I recorded it for my own benefit, for my own purposes, should legal shit come into it, and I've never intended to share it with anybody.
He says he's never going to use it because he's an honorable man. I don't know about that one. The honorable throat goat, maybe. Look, Ethan, we know that shit ain't going nowhere. You would never, ever in life delete dirt willingly. It's going to go into your frog vault and be ready to be whipped out whenever you feel like you have to defend yourself, put some uppity buster in his place, or I don't know, your bipolar flares up again and you just have to break it out just because. EVS has dropped more personal shit for lesser reasons. Bro is just a control freak who really believes that he's this indie comic dictator, this digital mob boss, this internet cult leader, always accusing others of plotting against him in Comic Skate, when the real Machiavellian, backstabbing, caught in a pizzeria parking lot, dit-sucking nigga is him. And it's been like that since the drama with Tim Lim. It hasn't changed. Now, some of you are probably wondering, Mikey, why did you call EVS Throat Goat? Throat Goat is the prestigious title gifted to EVS because of a story some Anon on 4chan posted about him years ago. I think I shared this story here once before. I'll start off by saying, yes, I'm a homosexual, gay, whatever you want to call me. So this was a few years back during my college days. I was lonely and doing that Craigslist casual encounter thing. I ended up spotting one that seemed perfectly legit. Got in contact with the dude, and he said we should meet down the street from T&J Pizza. Guy's waiting by the dumpster. Hey man, you from the CC? Oh hey, yeah, we gotta make this quick. He come over to my car, sits in it. Says he's in town for a few days, small talk. Only wants to give me a BJ, nothing done to him. Take my dick out, and as he's about to go down, it happens. In my back seat, I had my comics I had just picked up. He stops, gets nervous, and asks if I read comics. I say, yeah, and then he says he has to go, and sorry. Confused as fuck, I go home and don't think about it. One day, I'm reading Wizard, R.I.P., and I see Top Artist. Holy fuck, that's the guy who almost blew me. Ethan Van Sciver, who I only knew from X-Men, not a DC guy. Had a good laugh about it and bring it up now and again.
I just wanted to talk to him, basically. He was talking all that suck my dick shit. I wanted to come to his face and actually show him how we suck dick. You know what I mean?
Anyway, the ineffectiveness of Ethan's prognosis on people outside of Comicsgate became most apparent when he had a confrontation with Jesse P.S. of Pod Awful, the op who must not be named for Dick Masterson. Back in March of last year, EVS came onto Jesse's show. He did this because Eric July had come on Jesse's show just 2 days prior as part of Jesse's then ongoing.
All right, real quick. We need to do this because I need to say this. If you guys are painting it all, this paint color right here that I have out is called skeleton bone, and it's something that Army Paint makes. And Army Paint, if you're out there, please, fuck, it's give me a motherfucking sponsorship. This will be fun. But this paint right here, skeleton bone. Actually, hold on, right here. This paint, it's called skeleton bone. I use this in like all kinds of paints. Like I mix this with the flesh tones to make like a lighter skin tone and stuff. This shit is amazing, and it's great for highlights and stuff. So whoever made this shit, you are awesome. Whoever came up with this color, you are great. And we're Army Painter. Hit me up, guys. Hit me up. Holla at your boy. Holla at your boy. Definitely could use it. Skeleton bone is great. You'll never understand the Eric July hate. Well, it's because they're fucking weirdos. Good night, Angela. Have a nice night. Hope you feel better. Bone is a great tone. Yes, it is. Oh, I would. But why are they doing it? Because they're a bunch of fucking losers and they can't hang. That's why. Like, maybe they hate him because he's black, but it's really just, I don't know. Like, these people out there kicking ass and Dick Masterson's still stuck hanging out with fucking Vito. I'm sure that would piss him off. He's never going to get to like sell his shows and make his money like he wants because he's stuck with fucking Vito. I'm sure that's, it's an albatross around his neck at this point. So, well, yeah, he also built his own thing, but like at the end of the day, Eric's making money, and you hear Dick, they struggled at, like they've had their pitch meetings where Vito's been there, and Vito fucks it all up, and Vito's like a fucking retard and everything. Like they can't sell their programs, they can't sell what they want to sell. I'm sure that drives Dick up the fucking wall. It's like, God forbid Eric July could sell his fucking rights to something. These guys would probably fucking neck themselves if that happens. So, yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, but he would have, like, it's too late now. It's too late now. He's already hitched up to the Vito wagon, but I'm saying in general, he could have saved himself, but it's too late now. So, anyways, let's keep going.
Dick Masterson detractor campaign to air out Dax Herrera's dirty laundry,
you guys have heard me talk
and for Eric to explain his side of the whole feud with Dax, Vito, Riley, and the rest of the dickhead.
And then we just kind of
so, of course, Ethan Van Sciver had to come on and correct the record on Eric's prior record correcting. Basically, he was going to use his prognosis to attempt to distort Jesse's sense of reality. It didn't work.
You don't think they mean?
I don't watch your show, so I don't know. I don't know what you're about.
No, hang on a second. You don't watch my show? Are you sure?
Yes.
because one time I've got a screenshot of you saying you love my
Here we go,
show.
guys. We're gonna
You don't? Do you remember doing that?
I might have tuned in once. I don't
Oh
watch the show
no!
regularly.
A guy said
the brush.
in New Orleans Wizard World 2015, this 18-year-old guy,
Yeah.
he was volunteering at Wizard World, and he said you were trying to like suck him off or some shit.
Oh, come on.
That's what
not
it
true.
says.
Would not do that. I would not do that. It's
And
crazy.
then this guy here said, I think I've shared this story here once before. I'll start off by saying, yes, I'm a homosexual, gay, whatever you
Oh
want
God!
to call
Jesse,
me.
just stop this. This is bullshit.
What are
This
you
is
getting upset
silliness.
about?
Look at all this stuff that people have made up about.
I'm asking about it. I'm asking if it's real. I don't know this
Well,
made up.
I already answered you. I said no, it's not true.
Well,
It's not
this is a
real.
different one. This is a different one. It's odd.
Yeah, I know.
It's
I know.
odd
It's
that
the
it
same
happened.
guy.
No, it's not the same guy.
It is the same
No,
guy.
you can
dude.
see he's
It's
got a
the
different.
same guy.
No, he's got.
It's the same guy, dude. I know who it is.
He's who is. You know who it is.
Yeah,
My
so-
knowledge of you begins and almost ends until now with you appeared on a panel talking about me versus Alex Stein one time. I knew in my heart of hearts that you didn't actually give a shit about Alex Stein, that he's a big name that you want to latch onto. You're like a glad handing.
You think so?
100%. Your whole thing is
There
like
you go,
attaching
Chad.
You think
yourself.
Alex Stein is a big name that I want
Yes.
to.
I don't think you even have to do it with big names. You told me you like my show, and that was a lot.
I'm
Like,
just being nice.
yes, you lick ass. That's what I'm saying.
King
You
business.
should make. You should. You know what you should do on
I
these
mean,
streams?
This is the thing, dude.
Do you
Like,
know what you should do on these streams?
My content is so
You
much
don't
better
have
than yours,
content.
and I
You
don't
don't
have
have-
a fucking.
No,
I'm
no,
not-
I'm
not
your
sitting in a
content.
gay
I'm
purple
your
spacecraft.
content, you
I'm not
retard-eyed
sitting on a
bitch.
gay purple
You
mother Alex
need
Stein. No, they're
me.
purple cows,
You
whatever it
need
is.
Eric July. You don't have
I
content.
have plenty of content.
No, you've never.
I'm very kind to everyone.
No, you're not.
And in response,
No, you're not.
This is what I get.
Okay.
Yes, I am.
All
Very
right.
kind.
Okay. You
Well, then
really
I'm not.
want
Then
to?
I don't either. I
You sure you want to go there?
Or
Should we
I'm
ask?
mean to everyone.
Should we ask Pan?
Oh, what do you war campaign? You got war campaign in there?
Should
that
we
you're,
ask him? Are you kind to everybody? Are you sure?
Very embarrassing showing for the king of Comicsgate. This would be the last time in 2025 that Ethan would attempt to frognetize anybody outside of his usual sphere of influence. And Uncle E is very protective of that sphere.
I want this community. I want this this group. I want this corner of the internet to be free from grifting pieces of shit like Yellow Flash and Eric July. I want them out of here. I don't want them in my space. They're in my space right now. They could be somewhere else.
Yeah, I gotta keep those grifters out of your space. The grifter suites at Comicsgate are already full after all. Now, just because he mostly gave up playing mind games with people outside of his usual sphere of influence doesn't mean he wouldn't try any bullshit on people still within it.
All right, chat, real quick.
What?
So wall's done. Here's what we got. I feel like I'm getting better at this shit as time goes on here now. So here's our wall. I don't know how well it's showing up here. Little bit of depth coloring on it. I don't know how well this will show up. Let me see here. So, yeah, EVS has been on Timcast before. There we go. Just some part of a wall stacked up out in the desert. Nothing fancy. I don't think we'll leave that alone like that. So that's probably I'll call that good. So there we go. So I'm getting better at this painting coloring. So I guess having a little bit of practice doing a little art stuff works. So inshallah. Yeah, well, there you go. So all right. So yeah, I'll take photos of the camera of the phone later. So in the meantime, though, I'm gonna put some while we're watching, I'm gonna put shit on this. Like we're gonna put some rocks and some other stuff out here. So but anyways, let's keep going. Let's keep going with this. We'll make this a little bigger. I'll make myself smaller. Here we go.
One example of such happened in early November of last year with Nick Rekieta, of all people, the former king of LawTube who ruined his reputation, his YouTube career, his ability to practice law, and his family by getting in a drug-fueled polycule with Aaron M. Holt of Steel Toe, Aaron's wife, and Rekieta's own wife, that ended with Aaron leaving and losing his wife, and the Rekieta's getting their house raided by the cops who busted them for possession of coke, which Rekieta's daughter tested positive for. Disastrous shit that allowed Nick Rekieta to clutch Lolcow of the Year, Cokehead of the Year, Worst Husband of the Year, Worst Dad of the Year, Worst Polycule Partner of the Year, Worst Lawyer of the Year, and Worst Baldo Ambassador of the Year.
This is the Baldo. And this number, this is Drexel's, this is unused. But this number you got to do and shove your balls in there.
All in 2024. Bruh, that's GOAT shit. That's the Lolcow equivalent of Michael Jackson walking off the stage with 8 Grammys in his hands. And because obviously
Goddamn,
GOAT's got to look out for each other, the Throat Goat had to run defense for the Coke Goat and say his kids being forced to live in a dirty drug den and stumbling upon their parents' stash is just going to help them build character.
I grew up having to become self-reliant, having to make plans, having to, cope with life, as it were, being unkind to me, being unfair. So this stuff actually is probably, I know this sounds hard to believe to some of you pussies, this is actually going to be good for the kids, okay? In a way, it is. They're going to grow up to be stronger, more self-reliant. We got to make sure our own clothes are clean. We got to, we got to feed ourselves. It all sounds terrible. It's going to be better for them. It was better for us.
Ethan was more forgiving than most when it came to Rekieta, because Rekieta and his situation with his kids reminded EVS of his own childhood, which is illustrated in a graphic novel, One Dirty Tree, by EVS's younger brother, Noah Van Sciver, who also happens to make comics. Ethan grew up in a house of squalor himself because his dad, who was also a failed lawyer like Rekieta, barely worked and had bipolar disorder that worsened with age and stress, causing him to crash out on his kids over little shit and spend all of his time on projects that he would never complete, like renovations on his house or some epic Mormon poem that he gave up on and just never got around to finishing. Man, don't that last part sound familiar?
It all makes sense. It all makes sense.
Anyway, despite Rekieta supposedly being a friend of Ethan's, EVS would still try to milk him for content with a fellow Lolcow, Ethan Ralph, who he brought on stream with Rekieta for some gun on Baldo blood sport action. And it didn't really go anywhere because Rekieta just ran away.
I got Ethan Ralph back here. Let's bring Ethan Ralph on and see if we can work some stuff out here.
Well, the glasses are generally gay. Wearing those pit vipers is the gayest fucking thing in the world. Like, of all the things he's dressed up as, those pit vipers are like the gayest thing he could have worn. It's like, holy shit.
Ralph, what's up, brother?
Oh, how's it going, gentlemen?
We got run off by Ralph.
You're still in contact with this bitch, and she's still, leaking things about me and trying to affect my family situation. And
I haven't talked to her about your family situation or what she's trying to do, man. So, again, I don't. I would prefer not to go head to head with you on any of this because I don't have anything to go head to head with you on. I got no hostility towards you. Look, dude, I'm gonna peace out. So, adios, guys. Later.
Oh, there goes Nick. All right. Yeah. Listen, I don't know. I got 3 guys who I'm friends with who are fighting right now.
Why did Rekieta just run for the hills? Well, despite him obviously being intimidated by the Ralph Amale's aura, it's because he had been set up.
Now, he tried to say, I noticed when you came in on the video that he claimed that Rackets had brought you up, but it was Ethan that first asked about you.
To me, he said, Rackets is on here. Or he said Rekieta, and he's talking about you. Now, I went back and looked before. He actually wasn't talking shit about me. But Van Sciver made it sound like that, right? Like, this guy's on here trashing you. Do you want to come on and respond? He was frustrated because he didn't get what he wanted. Because I pulled back. Because I was like, all right, first off, You fat fuck. You don't deserve any of the money. I would get off this anyway. And second off, it was a setup from the start. Like, this is a calling card of his. I don't enjoy the whole, like, he lied to me. Like, it's like, well, he lied without lying. I mean, Rekieta was talking about me, but the way he made it sound was Rekieta's on here talking shit about you. And I was like, oh, really?
A lolcow milking two other lolcows for content on their show is what's called a recession indicator. In this specific context, it's also called being a shitty friend. Rekieta and EVS have known each other since the early days of CG. And Rekieta has not only had Ethan's back and swept for him, he even took his and Dick Masterson's side in their feud with Eric July. And EVS's reciprocity, trying to lure Rekieta into a blood sports match on Trashcast so he can make a quick buck off of him and Ralph. Ethan Van Sciver doesn't have honor. He doesn't have principles. He doesn't have any respect for the fans who back his release every once in a leap year ass comics. He doesn't even have the money to refund them anymore.
EVS isn't refunding the books anymore. He says you got to roll with me. Because if you
I can't right now. I just can't refund them. I'd love to. I was refunding everybody up to a point, all refund requests. I can't refund people because if I do, when the time comes to put out the books, I might not have enough money to do them. I got to make sure I have the money in the bank to be able to produce these books when I'm ready to produce these products.
But what he definitely doesn't have anymore are friends. The closest to that were the guys in War Campaign who EVS legitimately crashed out over after they broke up with him originally.
And we're moving on. We're gonna do Drawn and Backhold. We're Comicsgate, man. We're just not gonna be on the big channel so much, I guess.
Oh, well, that is your choice because you guys had my ear. I love War Campaign.
Research it.
Whoa. Okay.
He
Can we
said
stop
that.
for a sec? Guys, I need to stop for a second. Ethan, I get you're pissed off right now. Stop what you're doing. Ethan, stop that, please. I get that you are not happy with how the conversation just went on your live stream. Let this one go, please.
He doesn't really give a fuck about the people who are still around. John Malin and Shane Davis might be loyal and the two most prominent former pros in CG after EVS, but EVS definitely doesn't see them as his fucking friends. Mafia bosses don't have friends. They have capos. Though to be honest, Malin and Shane aren't even good for that either.
No, the EVS and Shane are definitely cancel pigs. 100%. They stream every night and they're like fucking obsessed with another man, like two gays. It's so cringe and weird.
Comicsgate ain't nothing but late books and drama, and casual onlookers really don't know the depth of this shit. In fact, let me give you an example of just how skeevy things can get in Comicsgate by taking you back to 2024 and going over Fingergate. Mandy Summers has a past, but hey, who among us doesn't? I mean, most of us don't have drug arrests or serial exhibitionists who've been showing ass to the whole internet for years. Yes, Mandy was showing cheeks to the web, and unlike Preston Poulter, she wasn't even getting paid. Nah, she was just doing it for the love of the game. Just a hot wife doing hot wife shit. That was her past. But old habits die hard, and Mandy's desire for male attention and love for showing off the goodies to complete strangers online carried over into CG, where she was getting into digital goon sessions with male members. And this included Ethan Van Sciver's colorist for Cyberfrog, Kyle Ritter. Mandy would later use evidence from these goon sessions to blackmail people with.
Videos of me, whereas I have R-rated hardcore him, and he is fucking terrified that I'm going to release him.
Because she's not going to be fucked around with anymore either.
This is how Comicsgate, the movement founded on fighting the SJW degens in the comic book industry, and whose MVP Richard C. Meyer was calling Heather Ontos a cum dumpster who glooped and globbered her way into her position at Marvel, was getting down, with ungodly levels of e-thottery happening behind the scenes. Not only was this happening, it was revealed in early May of 2024 that Ethan Van Sciver knew about all of it.
She would masturbate for Kyle. She would like do 2-finger inserts in both holes for Kyle. Yeah. And
holy shit, what the fuck is this?
And Kyle, Kyle would be And she'd say Ethan or Malin's, right? Like, that's the thing. Yeah, baby, I didn't know any of this was going on until it was already over. And Kyle didn't want to stop it. So, you know, Mandy kind of said, help me, Kyle. Does this sound familiar? Help me. Kyle's obsessed. Please just tell him to stop it. Because Kyle didn't want to stop. They were jerking off together on camera. Kyle's sad and lonely, and so was Dale. That's what's going on with Dale and Mandy. So that's what she's doing. She's sticking fingers in her asshole and her pussy on camera for Dale Keown. Most likely. Yeah. Most likely. I don't know that for sure, but most likely that's what's happening.
Guys in CG are always yapping about the Saska sisters and implicating that Eric July has some weird improper relationship with them on the basis of their own fever dreams. Meanwhile, grime-tastic nastiness like this is occurring in the back rooms of Comicsgate. Who knows what else is happening back there? What other freakery is still going on in the shadows? Because for all we know, EVS might be throat-goating it up behind the scenes. Maybe that's the real reason behind why his prognosis works so well.
Your boy Zach
is 4 things.
Your boy Zach
Is a retard.
Your boy Zach
Is a
Your boy Zach
is a liar. And
Your boy Zach
is a
BDSM porn star.
Come, baby. Come, baby. Touch your clit. Touch your clit. There you go.
It's been a while since we've checked in on your boy, on Comicsgate's boy, and he's not doing aight, which is about how he was doing when we left him over a year ago. So Richard C. Meyer has continued his crusade against the birthday party clowns, those annoying, culture-warring, nerdy losers obsessed with calling out everything woke in media they aren't even the target audiences of. Now, a lot of you familiar with your boy Zat's content over the years would go, but Mikey, isn't that the exact type of content Richard spent the better part of a decade making himself? Why, yes, for years, calling out the abundance of far-left politics, rainbow tribesmen, and women built like Ivan Drago was the go-to bread and butter content format for Richard C. Meyer. All that complicated stuff he just brushes aside. They call him Simple Dick for a reason, after all. They being me for the first time in this video. Simple Dick lacks self-awareness. That diet of glue, crayons, and wood chippings that the military provides Marines has gradually corroded that part of his brain. This is why most of what he says is just off-topic tangents and seething. They call him Richard the Rambler for a reason, after all. They again just being me for the first time in this video. Richard C. Meyer is a man of many words, mostly because he has ADHD and can't stop yapping about miscellaneous bullshit in his videos, even though most of them are only 10 to 15 minutes long. Just quartering Maxim with how he stretches out the length of these bitches. Almost every video from your boy could be cut down by about 60 to 80%, and nothing of value would be lost. And Simple Dick agrees, which is why he pruned his 4,000 plus video channel down to just the 100 most viewed ones back in June of 2025. He did this because his old ass is trying to chase the TikTok Zoomer crowd. By doing this, though, he inadvertently revealed that the golden age of his channel was, in fact, one of the most birthday party clown-friendly channels in comic YouTuber history. He was an OG, really, a pioneer. If he had started just a bit earlier and started talking about Gamergate instead, he would have had his head chiseled next to anti-SJW legends of that era. He's also the OG who started the whole use your YouTube audience to kickstart your comic book career strategy.
The entire appeal of Rippaverse is telling depressed middle-aged Republicans that they are winning by ordering awful comics because that might bother Heather Antos. Okay, first of all, Zach, that was your fucking business model. Holy shit. I have been here since the beginning. I am one of the first four, including Richard, members of what would become Comicsgate. He fucking said in the beginning he's going to build a goddamn audience so he could sell his fucking books. That was his goddamn bit. Everybody who followed, I swear to God, is following the freaking Richard C. Meyer business fucking plan.
Tragically, your boy can't face this fact. Call him a vampire because he don't see shit when he looks in the mirror. All he sees are the faces of content creators doing way better than him in every aspect of life, mocking and prodding him like schizophrenic voices in his head. Schizophrenia is actually a great descriptor of Meyer's behavior in the past year and a half now. Bro is just barking at demons that don't exist except in his own cracked psyche. Like this post here where he gets on Critical Drinker for not reviewing The Penguin in a week, to which Critical Drinker responds, bruh, I got a life. I don't dedicate every waking moment of it to talking about movies and TV shows. Richie don't know about that because that's literally his own life. Talking about shitty movies, TV shows, and comics while taking busy time out of that hectic schedule to seethe about content creators who don't like the same slop he does. What's funny is that the content creators he sees at, rather than getting mad at him, show concern for this obviously mentally disturbed man.
Quantum Ranger Power says, loving the latest cope over your opinions being that you never actually watch anything. Funniest conspiracy theory about a media reviewer in a book. Yeah, is that ya boy by any chance?
There are some things that are said that like can be addressed, but then sometimes people will just say something so beyond reality that you're just like, how do you think? Don't you think we would have noticed if Drinker was making it up as he went along in all of these streams?
I mean, if I can spend an hour or two talking about a movie that I've never seen, like, man, I want that acting ability. You know, with guys like that, I don't know, man. If he put half as much effort into making his little comic books as he does to obsessing over people like me and Gary and Disparu and stuff, like he'd probably be in a lot better place in life and his career. So. Ultimately, it's kind of sad to see what he's doing to himself.
But the pinnacle of Simple Dick's old man yelling at clouds era is his one-sided hatred of Eric July in the Rippaverse. Because, of course, he hates Eric July, too. This is the only consistent thing about this sector of the internet, ranting about Eric July every day. Rippa derangement syndrome is a requirement for being part of CG. What makes your boy's specific brand of RDS so hard to listen to is how obviously is motivated by sour grapes. At least Vito and EVS have their own canned excuses for why they despise Eric July that totally have nothing to do with him being better at selling and shipping comics than them. Simple Dick doesn't. This is just a straight up cold red hater alert. And what makes the haterade Myers sipping so obvious comes down to two things. Thing one, how hard he switched up on Eric back in 2023 before EVS snaked Eric July after he sent him a night letter and turned the rest of Comicsgate against him. Meyer was one of the guys singing Eric's praises the most, but everything changed when the birthday party clown mania set in. Eric July, despite not even making YouTube content like he used to because he said he wanted to focus primarily on his business for a while, got lumped in with Drinker, Nerdrotic, Mahler, and the rest, which is weird because there's really no culture war shit in the Rippaverse, really. There's just no explanation for the tonal whiplash Meyer had against Eric July, except for thing number two, envy. Now, like all of Comicsgate, which Richard C. Meyer denies he's part of, despite what makes up his audience and what makes up CG's being damn near a perfect circle, your boy would deny this accusation till he was blue in the face, but it's obvious that, like the rest of Comicsgate, Eric July's punctuality and frequency was making everybody else look bad and feel bad. Onlookers were wondering why it was such a bitch for the rest of these dudes to fulfill when this libertarian fella who's been doing this indie comic shit for half as long is delivering over a dozen books a year. And we know this gets to Meyer because he once took a jab at the common American duo, Tim Lim and Mark Pellegrini, in January of last year out of nowhere. See, Simple Dick really hates delivering comics on time, and it's a really weird complex compared to basically anyone else in CG. See, with those guys, they just haven't finished their books. A lot of them just ran off into the sunset with their backers' money, but not your boy. Now, believe it or not, Richard does actually complete his books. He just doesn't release them.
Speaking of fight, are you still working with Richard C. Meyer?
No, not so much. Mostly because I work to create content, and I'll do something for Richard, and it doesn't come out for 2 years. I mean, it's completed, and it doesn't come out for 2 years. I mean, I've seen all the art, and it's colored and lettered and ready to go, and it doesn't come out. And I'm like, this is frustrating, really, really frustrating for me. So that's the only reason.
On-time delivery just isn't a priority for your boy.
It's just gotten really bad to the point where all the conversations right now are like, your books are late, mine aren't.
that guy's books are late. This guy's books are on time. Take that, wokies. Take that, people with late books. But there's no like discussion of the books. It's all just a bunch of take that.
Because who cares if a comic is delivered on time if it's slop? True fans with exquisite taste are perfectly fine with waiting months or even a year for a top shelf product. The best artists are lazy anyway. This is what this delusional old man actually believes.
It's like saying, like, what's your favorite punctual band? You know, they got the set list and they stick to it, buddy. And if the flyer says 7 p.m., gosh darn tootin', they're there at 6:59. No. One of the most famous things, if you're into concerts, is that there are some artists, some bands, who they just show up when they want to show up. Sometimes they will start 4 hours late. And there's kind of an understanding that great artists are going to be difficult.
It's just cope. Every time he complains about Eric July or any of these other birthday party clowns, he's just coping about why they're doing better while he's just stagnating or doing worse. And why that's not only okay, it's actually a good thing. Richard's just coping. He's a permanent resident of Copesville, New Copesico. It's why he's so addicted to AI, because he just can't even with reality anymore. Oh, your boy loves him some AI. You would think he was open AI CEO trying desperately to keep his overvalued company from going under the way he sings AI's praises. Eric July once said something mildly critical of AI, and Richard threw a fit.
When freaking Eric July is like, there ain't no future in AI. AI is going to write its own prompts. Like, what the fuck are you babbling about? What kind of fucking shit-eating retard says the greatest technological advance of all humanity? Don't bother. Blizzle blazzle. Don't be doing that shit. Like, shut the fuck up. So let me
Wait for this to
explain
dry,
to you how
guys.
creativity
So,
actually
unlike you do.
works.
We're
It
going to
is
go to
much
sleep in
like
about 20 minutes. I
AI.
gotta let this dry
This is what
first,
this
so-
grown-ass man, this grown-ass combat
where we are.
veteran is getting up to every day as he's approaching retirement age. The Sonichu medallion is one of the most curious artifacts in the world that, once acquired, will bring about a terrible future for its possessor. And we aren't just talking about Final Destination type shit. No, it's more creative than that, and very dependent on the possessor themselves. In Dax Herrera, aka Dick Masterson's case, it made his lifelong friend Sean quit the show, made him become a father in his mid-40s, and made Eric July, his mortal enemy, more successful each year. There are so many people who look up to Dick Masterson for some reason and want him to be their E-daddy, and I never understood why. This guy peaked twice years ago. Once was when he managed to troll his way onto the Dr. Phil show forever ago to clandestinely shill his book, Why Men Are Better Than Women, which was admittedly very clever and funny. The second was less him and more Maddox handing him a W by suing Dax. Now, he might have had a case if he wasn't a retard and sued him for the wrong thing in the wrong jurisdiction. Because of these two lucky breaks, people have become convinced that Dick is some comedy genius. They also think that he's some Mac Daddy because he stole Maddox's girl. Neither of these are true. The latter objectively isn't true because Dick's girlfriend, who's now the mother of his kid, wasn't stolen from Maddox. Maddox dumped her and Dax got with her afterwards. Dickheads act like Dick has been macking it up. In reality, he picked up a half-eaten to-go plate some Armenian nigga threw away, took it home, and treated it like Din Din. Oh, Dick, congratulations on getting married, by the way.
It's a whole new era for Dick Masterson.
Oh, because I'm married?
As you're now a married man. Yeah.
Now, some of you may wonder, what took Dick so long to finally put a ring on it? He's been with 80s girl forever, after all. Well, part of it is just that he spent his 20s, 30s, and first half of his 40s being a giant man-child and LARPing like a pussy demolisher, despite the crown jewel of his romantic conquest being a hand-me-down from an Armenian. 2 is jealousy, because Dick wasn't even the second guy to ride that ride when it came to 80s girl. Out of them, the most prominent, aside from Maddox, was Greg Sestero. Yes, that Greg Sestero from The Room. And allegedly, this relationship had Dick super pressed because of a gift Greg gifted 80s girl. A cat.
Vito, can you defend this story? And I know you love cats, right? Like, I mean,
I do love cats.
Tell the story then, Jesse. Yes, you're right. Go ahead.
80s girl dated Greg Sestero from The Room. She fucked that guy. That is proven. That's a known thing. Dick hates Greg Sestero. She was given a cat by Greg Sestero from The Room. 80s girl dated 80s girl's Dick's wife. So she's having his kid now, right? Anyway, the point is she dated Maddox and Lord knows how many other people in between Greg Sestero and Dick Masterson. But Dick's dream is to be Hollywood Dick Masterson. He wants to be Hollywood Dax. And so he's been incredibly jealous of that story of Greg Sestero this whole time. So he forced 80s girl to have her cat destroyed.
I don't think that's not the story I heard.
100%.
Okay, what'd you hear
true.
then? I've heard more fucked up stories, but it's one of the more fucked up stories that I've heard, right? Like, it's like, oh, your boyfriend gave you this cat, so take it to the kill shelter, and you know, they're not going to survive. An adult cat has like, I don't even know, like a 4% chance of getting out of a kill shelter, right? Like,
right. Yeah, they brought it to a shelter. What I heard was that it is one of these shelters that if the cat doesn't get adopted, they'll kill it. Like,
no, but he took it to the kill shelter, an old cat. What do you think happened to that cat, Vito? Seriously.
Like, I don't know.
He's dead.
Hey,
what
Vito,
the fuck?
Dick had 80s girl's cat annihilated. Sent that little motherfucker to Auschwitz, never to be heard from again. Eventually, he matured just enough to marry 80s girl after putting a baby in her. Good for them. What hasn't been so good for Dick is his view. Similar to the CG guys, everything is lower than it was during the Golden Age. And what's interesting about Dick Masterson's Golden Age that I've noticed is how perfectly it correlates with Comicsgate. His Patreon shot up in 2016 and 17 and stabilized at a healthy peak in 2018, where it mostly remained until 2020. This is the first Golden Age. And that roughly tracks with CG, who were still a growing and vibrant community at the time, with all of their rock star crowdfund campaigns blasting off one after another. But again, coincidentally, like Comicsgate, Dick's Patreon started to dip during 2021 and continued dipping until early 2023, until something magical happened. The dickheads in Comicsgate all started A-logging Eric July. This era gave Dick Masterson a second win and brought his revenue back to the closest of its peak it's ever been since. This nigga Eric July has been filling pockets of people who aren't even his employees. Or at least he was. As you can see, since 2024, there's been a very sharp decline in Dick's Patreon that's getting dangerously close to hitting the lows of 2016. Literally the year he started his Patreon. So what's the biggest problem for the biggest problem in the universe? There are two. One is Eric July. Now, Eric hasn't gone to fight fire with fire route with Dax. What he did do was put out a half-hour receipt-rich expose in March of 2025 that proved in greater detail what I already proved in my Comicsgate documentary, which is that Dick, Vito, Riley, Mint Salad, and the rest of the dickhead sphere were lying about pretty much everything or simply misunderstanding shit because they're retarded. If you want to see all of Dick and Friends conspiracies debunked by a different black guy on the internet, consider giving Eric's video a watch. But the thing Eric did to flame Masterson the most was a lengthy tweet from March 9th in 2025 that he made in response to some dumb bullshit Dick tried to use to own young Ripper with. I'll give you my attention this one time. I know this will be the highlight of the last 5 years and you'll create a lot of content out of it. Your entire narrative hinges on controlling the conversation while I focus on actually running my business. You don't really have anything else to do, and that works in your benefit. That's why you keep lying to people, desperately trying to stay in control of narratives. 0 emails or contacts were ignored. The screenshot you're showing, which I've never seen before, doesn't even support your own claim that I stopped responding. If they planned to send me something or drafted it, does not mean that I actually received it. You retard. I was never served. Attached is an email I received before the trial, completely blowing a hole in your argument. No trial ever took place that required us to appear. I've never failed to appear. There was no case that I lost. You've lied about the entire thing. Your comedic career peaked in a Pizza Hut commercial that didn't even air. Not a single reputable film, show, or stand-up special to your name. At best, you're just a gay podcaster. You built your entire brand piggybacking off a man you once idolized like a father, Maddox. When that dried up, you latched on to me. Now you hover, obsess, lie. And while you allegedly enjoy getting pegged in a cow costume and blowing dudes at festivals, you'll need to find another bull for your affairs. I'm not interested. You got your homosexual ego bruised. One video of me, not even mentioning you, covering your nonsensical review has sent you into a 2-year meltdown where you've wasted thousands of hours crying about me. You can dish out critiques, but fall apart when yours get dismissed. You being unimportant irritates you. What really makes you a hoe is how you operate through others, using your pet retard to do your dirty work. You're not some enemy of mine. You're just a low-effort content farmer desperate to leech off someone with no interest in engaging in this clown show. That's why you run from people like @PodAwful, who actually has the time to clap back. You need another Maddox to stay relevant because nobody actually cares about you. You can't carry anything by yourself. You're a 40-plus-year-old, unaccomplished, unfunny shock jock who gossips like a schoolgirl for engagement. You hide behind a comedian tag to excuse your lies and retardation. You lied about the pull-up narrative, claiming I aimed at you, yet still sent your pet retard. You lied about your pet retard's case. You lied about our charity involvement, even going so far as to tag the IRS and contact the charity like a Karen, injecting yourself into something that had nothing to do with you, where there was no malpractice, all for content because you're boring as shit. And yet we're still here, still building. That pisses you off. Our success is living proof of just how irrelevant and uninfluential you are. You're a reckless, drughead, low impulse control degenerate, surrounded by people who reflect the same traits constantly, running from responsibility, stability, decency, and anything resembling a meaningful legacy. And I'll give you that much. In that regard, you're more of a nigga than I could ever be. This is the only time I'm addressing you. You need me, not the other way around. And that was basically it. There was never really a rivalry between Dick and Eric, no matter how much Dick tried to frame it that way. This post was, from Eric and a lot of the Rippaverse fans' perspective, the moment that laid this one-sided beef to rest. Dax Herrera is a fraud, a charlatan, is currently losing viewers and money and hair every other month. And he also dresses up as a cow named Juju who lets women peg him in the ass.
Who's Vito?
I'm Dick's co-host, Milo.
Sorry?
I'm Dick's
Dick
co-host.
Masterson's co-host, yeah.
Yeah.
Who?
Dick Masterson?
Juju?
Oh, but the other biggest problem, in more ways than one, is the guy who's responsible for dragging Juju, his pet retard Riley, and the others into this drama to begin with. The fat spaghetti meatball-shaped Italian who's a cutie super fan and who's still jealous of a successful black man. Vito Giswaldi. Vito's initial complaint about Eric July was that he was some dumb libertarian who made a bunch of money off culture war dummies when he had no experience in writing anything. Well, Vito, Eric July has now written 3 comics, 2 96-page graphic novels, and 1 144-page graphic novel in the time it took you to finish a 70-page graphic novel. And even then, he didn't really finish Super Killer. Your artist, Keter Laval, said he finished drawing it back in 2024. And you said on late December 2024 that over half of the pages were colored. Despite this, you still didn't drop the comic until August of 2025.
Happy episode 200, everyone.
Happy episode 200.
And in a miracle, a very big announcement, Super Killer is now live as a special episode 200 bonus.
And the version of the comic you released still had no color, not even half color. The colored version of Super Killer just doesn't exist, even though, according to your own words, 70% of the comic was already colored. Could your colorist Valentina Pinto really not finish coloring the rest of the comic in 8 more months, Vito? Or did you run out of money to pay your colorist so she never finished because you never gave her the money to? Considering that you reopened the Super Killer campaign just a few days after finally dropping it while it was unfinished, I think we all know the answer. Vito truly is Comicsgate royalty, because just like the lot of them, he can't manage a project for shit. Now, some of you might go, well, Mikey, you have to at least give Vito credit for finally releasing a comic and delivering it to his backers. No, the fuck I don't, because Vito still hasn't delivered the book to his backers. So you can read the unfinished digital version if you backed it, or a cool-ass nigga on Kiwi Farms with a huge penis just gave you the PDF. But the guys who paid for a physical print book, yeah, they still haven't gotten those.
Frank,
I'm not familiar. Yeah,
Super. Oh, you're not familiar with Super Killer?
No.
Oh, probably because it's 3 years late. Super Killer. I want to say like 2.5, 3 years ago was the first indie comic I ever pledged to, like backed on Indiegogo.
Nice.
My good friend Vito made it.
Yeah.
I pledged to 2 other comics since then.
Mm-hmm.
I now own physical copies of those other 2. I still don't have the first comic. But Vito's working really hard on the comic.
To get the first one.
Yeah, I still don't have Super Killer. My other friends who make comics, I got them on time. Can you believe it?
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's going to come out, though.
Yeah.
Any one of these days.
Also, Mint Salad, the human urinal for Dick Masterson's producer and pet retard Riley, got pissed off because Vito was talking shit about her on The Biggest Problem in the Universe back in late December of 2024. So she posted a rough draft of Super Killer for everyone to read. So technically, a digital-only unfinished version of Super Killer has been available to even non-backers since 2024. If you're a backer of Super Killer, Vito is still over 2 years late on delivering a colored print version of his comic to you. Vito has been very stressed about not being able to finish and deliver 1 comic in the span of time Eric July has been able to finish and deliver 3, while also running a comic empire that has produced an additional 20 plus comics and counting. Also, he's just a bitch in general, surprisingly thin-skinned for a comedian on an internet drama show who cosplayed as a pedophile for a gag.
It's all
to
a
the point
joke,
he's been
chat.
driving away viewers,
It's all a
super
joke.
chatters, and Patreon donators by banning them just because they make fun of his fat ass. Also, it turns out the beef between him and Riley and Mint Salad wasn't complete kayfabe after all, and Riley and Mint really were fucking with Vito. And Vito just couldn't handle it. Keep in mind, Vito thought all the A-logging Riley and the other dickheads did to Eric July were hilarious. Now he's getting a little
It's
taste
all fair
for
game
himself,
until it was
and
him.
bro is rattled. This bitch-made behavior, the way he treated paying fans, the passive aggressiveness, and low energy on the show have been taking a toll on both the show's performance and Dick's patience. Vito doesn't even come to Dick's house to record the show anymore.
Not allowed at
He's
Dick's
got
house.
a stream from his house now.
not
Dick,
that he-
as a new daddy and husband, made an executive decision that his house is now
I'm sure
a
80s
Vito
girls will
no-go
only-
zone.
Vito's not
Very
allowed.
wise decision from Dax, I must say. Now, there has been one bright spot for Vito. Riley and Mint Salad stopped messing with him. Not because they decided he was such a great guy. No, it's because Riley and Mint Salad broke up. Mint left Riley. She not only left him, she cucked him with a dude named Schizo Sean. They also stole his shit and skipped town together, Bonnie and Clyde style. Yeah, it's real tough for Riley. All that A-logging just to go to jail, lose your girl, and have her skip town with another dude with all your stuff. What's funny is that Riley is still obsessed
When did
with
Riley
Eric
go to
jail.
jail?
And it's like, bruh,
Wait,
you got
when
bigger
did Riley go to
problems
jail?
than
I
a
don't know that
Negro
part.
making comics. He not only is still trying to bait Eric and ruin his business with his antics, he wants Eric July to apologize.
Yeah, like Vito could just release Super Killer. You know, Eric could just apologize to Dick and Ethan and I.
That's what's always been wild about the Eric thing. Eric July at any point in time could talk to Ethan Van Sciver, could talk to you, or talk to any of the people involved in that. Now he could say, I don't want to talk to Dick, I don't want to talk to Vito, I don't want to talk to you, but
why does he have to talk to anybody?
It would be very easy for him to pick up.
Why does Eric July have
to
to talk to anybody? He doesn't talk to these
and
faggots.
square things out to at least to the point where there's some kind of formality there.
Why does he
Look,
have
Eric,
to do that?
we lied on you, shit on your work,
Yeah,
tried
why
to
does he
destroy
have to
your
fucking do
business,
that?
stalked you IRL, accused you of fraud, got you embroiled in a lawsuit with a ministry, and took selfies at your ancestors' tombstone. But we're willing to forgive you for all of that so long as you say you're sorry.
Because we take mental health really seriously. So everything we're about to say is just our overall view of the situation. Don't take any of this and try to use it against the show. But I say all that to say that nigga crazy.
Yeah, okay, Riley. But hey, keep your head up, bro. Maybe you'll find another autistic girl that'll let you piss on her so you can pay your rent. So we've established that Ethan Van Sciver is a bum, a liar, a schemer, a dude who ultimately has nothing, including money to refund people who are tired of waiting a whole presidential term or longer for their comics. Only thing this dude has are all his streams making fun of Eric July. But he doesn't even have those anymore. When it comes to somebody like Ethan Van Sciver, who can't stop running his mouth, can't stop fibbing, can't stop gaslighting, and keeps playing stupid games, it's only a matter of time until all that fucking around results in a lot of finding out. Such was the case with Knife School. Knife School is the name the brother formerly known as Ripoff Verse is primarily going by on his various social media. Ripoff Verse was the guy who would make those Eric July puppet shows that Ethan Van Sciver loved to play on his trash cast. Now, that may lead a lot of you to believe that Ripoff Verse, taking so much time to make a puppet out of Eric July and make skits, was a Riley tier Eric July A-log.
Yeah,
You'd be surprisingly wrong. But your confusion is very understandable. After all, just the name gives off the vibe that this is a guy obsessed with Eric July. He wasn't. Eric July was just one of the many anti-woke pop culture critics who Ripoff Verse mocked. He wasn't even the first guy he made a puppet out of.
Just a super long time ago, I made it wasn't even a YouTube channel. It was just a couple of videos. I named the channel Just Ripoff. And it was these sort of crappy handmade puppets because I wanted to offend Tim Pool and Critical Drinker and Nerdrotic.
According to Knife School, even the name Ripoff Verse was just a coincidence, it being the name of his original channel that got obliterated because his puppet shit got a little too spicy for YouTube. See, Knife School never cared about monetization or shit like that because he wasn't a career YouTuber.
I was in Budapest at the time because I've been an old colleague. We've built an animation studio over there, and I've just rounded that up. I've got some books coming out because I love my indie comics, have done all my life, but I've never really heard of Comicsgate or include it because it's not really, is it? It's a tiny little sort of snow globe.
He works in film and animation and comics and games, etc. You can literally go to his Twitter account right now and see him talk about his art and projects. He's also the guy who kind of exposed Vito for fucking off with donor money back in 2024 and decided, you know what? I'm going to make my own comic that's a parody comic of Vito's parody comic. And he did. He made his own 50-page parody graphic novel of Super Killer called Super Killer that he finished by himself in like 4 months. So yes, this guy is very legit. Now, that may lead a lot of you to ask, but Mikey, why would a professional artist from the industry with all that experience engage in all this dumb internet drama? To which I have to ask you, how the fuck do you think we got here in the first place, bro? Anyway, according to Ripoff Verse, the whole YouTube media critic puppet shit was him taking the piss out of people that dudes within his industries complained about. Anyway, EVS took notice of Ripoff Verse channel, being most interested in, of course, the Eric July puppet specifically. But EVS had to donate to a beagle animal rights charity in the UK.
I was getting messages like that every other day of people wanting to play the videos in full. And the point of them is that they're fucking free. They're for people to clip and just spread around and have a laugh with. Like, I've got money. I'm not a YouTuber. Just for a bit of a joke. So I said yes. Didn't think anything of it. And then not long after that, he asked if I could make them for him. And I'm just like, no. Just simple as that. Just no. What I will do, though, if you want, because he only really wanted the Eric July ones. So I'm like, yeah, sure, man. Well, look, if you make a small donation to my charity, you can preview the Eric July ones for a week. And then at the end of that week, they just go public and on my Patreon. And he's like, yeah, sure. And that's it. End of the story.
Because in the UK, it's apparently perfectly legal to experiment on beagles to the point that thousands are bred specifically for this purpose. You can live your dream of a modern day Dr. Mengele in the UK so long as your surrogate Hebrews are beagles. So with that gentleman's bargain made, the ripoff versus Eric July puppet shows became a regular part of Ethan Van Sciver's Trash Cast. And when I say regular, I mean like hundreds of live streams involve these puppet shows. But cracks start to form between EVS and ripoff.
Why are we listening to this guy?
Of
Because it
Uncle
makes
E's
you cry.
relationships tended to.
Then he went around and he was saying things like, I got Ethan in line. I kneecapped Ethan Van Sciver. So I wrote back to him, I said, you didn't kneecap me. I was being nice to you because I said, listen, I'll leave you alone if you leave me alone. If you want to be left alone, he was clearly afraid of me. He was clearly afraid that I was going to make trouble for him.
Ripoff Verse was talking a little shit, talking about how he had to put the Frog King in his place. What had happened was that he caught wind that EVS was telling people that he was his employee. EVS would try to work his frognosis on Ripoff Verse, but he forgot that his gaslighting doesn't work against people who are already aware that he's telling lies. Needless to say, Ripoff Verse and the rest of CG have begun rubbing off on each other in the wrong type of way. Which was fine by Ripoff Verse, now Knife School, because he never gave that much of a damn about CG anyway, outside of engaging in it for some internet drama. It really should have ended there, but then, just last month, Knife School decided that he wanted to rebrand. He was done with the puppet era, and he was going to use his platform for new things in the future. So he wiped everything clean and also activated this new feature on YouTube that lets you automatically claim any video using your content. According to Knife School, he just thought it was going to get all the videos on YouTube that were just straight uploads of his puppet videos. Knife School wasn't sure what to expect because he admitted that he really didn't understand how it works. What he really didn't expect, and what EVS definitely didn't expect, was for Comic Artist Pro Secrets to get a strike on it. Now, it was just one strike, but it got Ethan so spooked, he did something kind of insane. EVS's reaction to this was to private every one of his trash casts featuring the puppet shows. Over 400 streams, over 7 million views, just gone. Now, Knife School clarified he didn't strike EVS's channel, and he did fix it for him once he got back home. But he also, because Ethan was talking shit about him, and more importantly, his Save the Beagle charity, warned Ethan that his ability to keep his roof over his head was in Knife School's hands. Just to be on the safe side, EVS is having a guy go through and edit out all of the Ripoff Verse puppet segments one by one before unprivating it. A whole catalog of years worth of Eric July detracting just Thanos snapped out of existence. And Eric July didn't have anything to do with it. The do nothing and you win strat remains undefeated. The lesson to be learned with all of this is, if you stay on your grind, keep sowing your seeds, and don't let fuck niggas bring you down to their level, you will prevail. Well, probably. Everything that Eric July is building could collapse before 2030. I don't know. We'll just have to see. But we're 3 years into Comicsgate predicting the biblical downfall of the Rippaverse. Tragically, God left that Old Testament lifestyle behind and doesn't just smite fools because someone downstairs prayed real hard for it. Sometimes all you have to do to win is literally do nothing but mind your own business, especially when you're dealing with lolcows, because the lolcow is a naturally volatile and unstable creature that'll self-destruct on its own if left to its own devices. Oh, and one more thing about EVS. I hate to get personal and put down somebody's legacy, but your Frog Highness does it all the time with former peers from the comic book industry with just as many, if not even more, medals on their chest than him. So he's got to ask him for it when he says stuff like this.
I think it's that, you get to a certain age and people call you legend. Now, listen, I was being called legend by DC Comics, the legendary Ethan Van Sciver, when I was in my 30s. You know what I mean? Like, I was being called legendary back then because I am legendary. You know what legendary means? There are legends about you. What are the legends about Chuck Dixon?
This nigga's legendary? Based on what? What has he done? How long has he been in the game?
Look, Ethan, you're undeniably a good artist, but who are you really, bro? Like, how many non-comic book aficionados even know who the fuck you are? Shit, even among Kate comic enthusiasts, and even keeping it just to illustrators, just where do you think you rank in the pantheon? Even by your own logic, Ethan, you technically aren't a legend either if Chuck Dixon ain't. You aren't even a dude DC wanted to keep around. You were a late, tardy bastard even back when you were in your prime.
My whole style and everything is built to make sure that I'm not late.
Right.
I'm really proud of that. I've been doing this 10 years. I've never had a book ship late because I didn't deliver. Right. I've had books ship late,
right?
But it's because Ethan Van Sciver can't get his shit together.
Right.
So they have to hold my book until his book comes out, type of thing.
Right.
There you go, Ethan.
People have been glazing you nonstop ever since you entered CG, but the competition in the indie crowdfund comic space was a lot smaller a decade ago. It's a lot bigger now, and you just ain't got the same aura as you used to have. And those late books definitely ain't helping. I think it's time to accept EVS, that you just had a good career, not a great one.
My name is Monica Willis.
Shelley Coleman.
Ethan Van Sciver.
I am 50 years old.
I'm 40 years old.
I'm 35 years old.
Well, I gained a lot of weight.
Really had gained way too much weight.
I'd become so overweight, and it's a good thing I found fitness together when I did. My new fitness lifestyle is fantastic. I've lost 50 pounds.
30 pounds and untold inches.
The inches are gone. They're melting away.
Thanks for making happen what I had never been able to accomplish before in my life.
Oh, that's it. Okay. Well, there we go. Oh, all right. So let me see here, chat. All right. I'll put the pictures up here in a minute. See if I forgot I could fit this on the fucking. All right, this will fit. This will fit for this guy. Okay. I'll just cut his thing off. That'll be kind of neat. And then I got one. Do I have any more ammo cans? No. Okay, so I got these belts. These belts are for the smaller dudes, though. I can put this in the 221. I do have another ammo can right here. Okay. Okay. Sorry, Jay. I'm looking at some stuff here. All these little accessories and spare guns left over from other stuff. So I'm just checking stuff out here. Okay, so I got enough ammo cans to do what I want. Got 3 of those. All right, perfect. Perfect. I also have guns and ammunition that don't work for this set. So, like, I have this right here. I have, like, an MP40, MP44. I have, like, G43s. Those don't work in Africa. But I have, like, an MG34. Now, the thing that's interesting is this set, the German guys that I worked on before, these dudes, these guys here, they're smaller than the other guys. Like they're a whole like these are different size people. It's like running into fucking monsters. So I got to figure out what to do. It's not mixing matchup's going to look kind of weird, but I'll figure something out. So wonder if I'm wearing pants. I mean, probably. But I like to keep the illusion alive. So do you have any guns at 357 SIG? No. I've shot it before. I mean, I don't know. In 2026, I don't know the point of it. Like back when the Secret Service needed it and it came out in the 90s, like it made sense. Like the early 90s, late 80s, like all that stuff made sense. It doesn't now though. That's the problem. It doesn't make any sense anymore. 9mm with normal bullet construction gives you all the power, armor penetration, and all kinds of things you can get. So I don't think there's a point to it anymore. There was a point for it, but not anymore now. So and maybe for a while they were giving that shit away to people. So all right. All right, chat, we got this done. And here's where we are. Here is where we are with it. So we've got the wall. And we're basically going to do this with it. He kind of kneels. I'm going to raise up the sand a little bit underneath his kneeling leg. Or figure out a way to get the touch. And we're just going to run him like this. So now he's behind a wall that's kind of like up to his chest. So that'll work out. This will work out. And we'll just go from there with that. So where'd I put that cup with all that shit in it? Oh, right here. Oh, so he goes in that cup. All right. So I don't know if you guys can see this. I will send you some pictures. Maybe this will help out a little bit. Sandbag for the knee, maybe. I don't know if you guys can see it too well, but we put some rocks up behind it. A little bit of rocks out front, a little bit of plant. You'll see it. So well, yeah, sellers, that's the other thing. The ammo is not available like it used to be. Besides, if I make a sandbag, I've got all this stuff here. I was working. The same stuff I cut the bricks out of, I can make sandbags with. So I think we're all set for right now, chat. So we are going to wrap this up. I am going to bed. Got an early day tomorrow, but not too early. Start out at home. And then we'll be back at it for Quarry Richards tomorrow. So, all right, chat. You guys all have a great night. And yeah, even dug pan out of the ground. So good night, chat. And I will talk to you guys later. Good night, everybody. Sleep well. See ya. See ya, everybody.
Weapons, blacksmithing, and models of planes, esoteric works, and even some trains. Much merriment had while drinking White Claws, tips on hunting, and even talking the law. Whatever you do, just don't talk to cops, even when they nab you on illegal stops. Just 'cause you did it doesn't mean you're guilty, but please talk to a local attorney. Was that the